Let's do it.
Half of me wants to interject first just to like take 8.
Welcome to the Hardly Heroes Podcast.
High above the city, they shine in my spotlight. Commissioner on the rooftop, double H in the night sky. For the sidekicks we fight, for the right crosses we go. For the ninjas we injure, revenge on our foes. From crime alleys to radioactive insects, genetic mutations. Weapon X rejects are infinite, Ursa in crisis. The walls are civil but secret. Here come
Gandonathon.
Schmeezy.
Bird.
Sidekick with no nickname.
blaring through the speakers. Yeah, Hardly Heroes. It's clobbering time.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hardly Heroes Podcast, a podcast dedicated to movies, TV, and everything geek-related. I'm your host, Shmee.
I'm Bird.
Sidekick with no nickname.
Gandonathon.
What's up with it? Welcome to the show, everybody. We have a full house today.
Action-packed, full,
Action-packed.
giant-sized annual edition.
Supersized.
It's steamy. Very
And
steamy in
if
here.
this is your first time joining us, welcome. We just want to let you know that you can find out all about us on our website, hardlyheroes.com. You can go to the About page. You can learn about the host of the show. You can learn about a lot of our main sidekicks. You can learn about some of the weird words we say, some of the events we do. So check it out. And yeah.
Shout out to all the new listeners
Yeah.
out
you
there.
guys. Yeah.
Shout out.
Thanks for tuning up in.
I think we have a lot of new Parms
Yeah.
and Navarros
A lot
out
of
there.
Parmesan.
Yeah, a lot of
sprinkled
Parmesans.
on.
Ooh, we got some
Yeah,
Parmesans
right.
sprinkled on.
Yeah.
Sprinkle some parm in
Yeah,
there.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Shout out to the Parmalee family clan. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Represent.
Welcome. So today this is a crazy show. We have a full house. We have a ton of stuff to cover. Dilly, just to give us a brief summary of what we went over last week.
Yeah, so last week we had Powerhouse Comic-Con. We had James' notes on Comic-Con. Philippe's voice memo, the Marvel Phase 4.
Dang.
We did some Disney news, some teasers, and we had some Sidekick Mayo.
Yeah, so if you
We had
guys
some
haven't
SDC
heard...
as well.
Right, if you guys haven't heard it, check out our episode from last week. We had Navarro on, Sidekick with no nickname. We talked all about SDCC. We went through we dropped everything. We talked about Marvel. We talked about
everything that came out of Comic-Con,
everything.
except the stuff I'm about to talk about.
Right,
Bam.
so we do have some updates
Yeah.
on the SDCC.
So some of it is corrections from what we talked about and just, kind of clearing some things up, and I've flubbed a couple things. But also some stuff dropped after or actually during the recording. So real quick, let's just run through it. I know there's a lot of Disney on our Disney-centric themed podcast that we got to get to, so let me just run through this. So Oroville, just for clarification, Oroville Season 3 is going to be on Hulu, not Fox. So just some clarification there.
Okay.
As we were recording last week, Amazon Prime, that new show, The Boys, that we talked about.
Yes.
I heard it's really good.
Oh my God, you guys. Has anybody in this room watched it?
I've seen a piece. So
same here, just a little.
This was like I was talking
Did
to Jenny.
both your wives say you couldn't watch the show without them?
Exactly.
They
So-
started. Yeah, it was
Wow.
Downton
I know,
Abbey
it was
took
so-
over.
Oh my,
Oh
are
my
you
God.
kidding me?
No, I'm
No.
not.
No, I wish I was
No,
kidding.
I can't
It's
get.
terrible.
I love Downton Abbey, so it's okay.
Yeah, there's like a movie coming out. And
Oh
stuff.
my
It's
God.
like it's all bad.
I've never seen it. But anyway, so no
Sorry.
one's seen The Boys. I've seen The Boys. It's amazing. It's kind of gory.
Okay.
Just real quick, though. Honestly, it's really
It's
pretty,
good.
It's
It's
pretty
getting-
graphic.
So it's
But it's
more
good.
like
Oh my
adult?
God, it's so adult. It's like 18 and
yeah.
over or something. It's like
That's
rated
great.
R.
All right, so shout out to Jenny. She's like, hey, you can go watch the show in the middle of the night, like at midnight when I'm awake, as normal. And she's like, you can watch it, but if it's good, you got to stop it. And I'm leaving it on you. I'm like, oh, no. I can't handle it. So I got like 10 minutes in, and I had to shut it off because it was so good.
It's so good.
The arms. Anyway.
Oh my God, did you see that part?
No, we're not going to talk about
Oh!
it. Okay, so The Boys. It was actually released a day earlier. So as we were recording last week, it was
okay.
released,
Yeah.
which is cool. We had a couple questions about the bingeability of it. So shout out real quick to Sheila Brown, old school.
Oh my
We're
God!
talking about it.
Wait, can I say hi to Sheila Brown real quick?
Dude,
Sheila Brown.
it's your podcast.
This is Sheila. Okay, I just wanted to say hi because she was Sheila #1, And I was Sheila number 2 when we worked at Borders. So.
You were Sheila parenting section.
Oh my God. Hi, Sheila.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
Oh, that's cool. Keeping it real. Yeah, so I was talking to Sheila about it. She was so jazzed about it. She read the book. She's all into it. Let me read a little bit. So there's 8 episodes in season 1, and it's all available right now. Real quick, shout out to Jeffrey Ross Parmalee. Right, one of my cousins who listened to the podcast. He also binged the entire season,
Did
he
he?
says it's worth watching. So
It's
I don't know
so
how far
good.
you are, but
I'm like
he dug it.
episode 4, so I'm halfway through.
Sweet. Let's see, Amazon Carnival Row. I know that was another one we kind of touched on. So I guess there was a IMDb panel that Kevin Smith hosted. I didn't realize this, but it's also starring Orlando Bloom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's
Legolas.
Legolas. You know what I'm saying? Oh wait, no, I'm not saying that.
No.
Anyway, and then so let me keep going here. The Watchmen. So some follow up on some stuff for the Watchmen. Shout out to new sidekick Christina, who wanted to know more about Watchmen. The show is a sequel to the 2009 movie. Zack Snyder. There's going to be, 8 episodes taking place. So they haven't talked about what is happening in the show yet, but they think it's going to take place in the same timeline. It might not be exactly like the graphic novels.
Oh, okay.
But so there's going to be a little deviation. It's a show. They kind of deviate from it.
Right.
But there's also the showrunner, David Lindelof, right?
Lindelof
And he's
from
from
Lost.
what? Okay.
And,
wait, which-
Leftovers.
Wait, which one from Lost?
Damon Lindelof.
He was the writer.
He was one of
Oh,
them from Lost,
okay,
and then
okay.
I think he's the main showrunner on Leftovers.
Oh,
on
okay,
Amazon.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Right,
his
so-
stuff's always pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So, real quick on the trailer set up a war between some kind of Rorschach
Right, like
vigilante
army.
group,
Yeah.
calling himself the 7th Cavalry against the Tulsa Police Force. And in the trailer, I don't know if you guys saw the trailer. Yeah, we watched the trailer.
Yeah.
They were all masked, so it's everybody kind of hiding their identity. So
Right.
everybody's kind of like this masked version. So everybody's kind of on guard, so to speak. Let's see what else we got. The soundtrack. Dilly, you'll dig this. The composers are Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails
9 Inch Nails, okay.
and Atticus Ross of The Social Network.
Oh,
We're
okay.
on board, and it debuts in October.
Oh, very cool.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that show looks so good.
It does.
Yeah,
it
I
really
agree.
does.
I
Like the
really-
trailer.
Yeah, the
I
trailer.
like the
fired up.
casting in it.
Yeah, the casting is great. It looks dark. It looks really good.
Yeah.
It also looks really different, so I'm very interested to see
Yeah,
what they
no,
do with it.
totally, I agree with that.
So moving on. Marvel Eternal. So I flubbed a little bit. I needed to do a little bit more research on it, and then Cheese kind of took over with her Angelina Jolie rant.
Bird,
She tends to do
Bird,
that.
You're
Bert, do
clearly,
you agree with me?
Yeah, you're clearly a Jennifer Aniston, and
Well,
I'm
of
clearly on the
course.
side of Angelina.
Are
Team
you
Jennifer.
kidding me?
We
You
were
like
she
her?
was Team Jennifer. I was Team Angelina.
Oh my!
So-
I can't even
yeah.
believe
my
we're friends.
goodness.
Listen, he's single now, so
It's not
It
that
doesn't matter.
it's not that I
I'm just
don't
kidding.
like her because of Jen Ann. It's that she's a terrible actress.
Jen Ann.
Yeah, her name's Jen Ann. Sorry, look, I'm doing it again.
Can I keep going?
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. So it was the Celestials were created by Jack Kirby. So he's a famous comic creator back in the day. So he created the New Gods for DC. In Marvel, he created the Celestials. So the Celestials created the Eternals and the Deviants. And as Sheila mentioned last week, Thanos may be like a descendant or
Right,
something
of the
like,
Deviant.
of the Deviants. So,
Right. I read that.
Director Chloe Zhao also stated the movie will explore what it means to be human. So one of the
okay.
storylines going into like the comic books of it is like some of the Eternals are on Earth, but they don't know they're actually Eternals. So maybe it's them kind of dealing with humans and
okay, right.
civilization and that
And then
sort of
trying
thing.
to figure out who they are.
Yeah, exactly. There was like a 2006 Neil Gaiman story arc about like Eternals on Earth finding out who they are and exploring their powers, that sort of thing. So
Okay.
I'm very
It's
excited
probably
if
gonna
it's
be that.
based on that. I mean, Neil
Yeah.
Gaiman, I love him as a writer. He did the Sandman
Yeah,
series
Sandman.
comic book, and so if they're doing that on the script, I'm be very excited about that.
Yep, and that's coming out November 2020.
Very cool. So that's kind of
That's my. I'm done talking Comic Con. I
Okay,
kind
so
of went
that-
crazy on Comic
so
Con.
that's
I'm
kind
done.
of-
Yes.
so that's the update follow up of corrections for SDCC.
Yeah. See, that's That's what I bring to this podcast, right?
Right.
A little follow up, a little clarification,
Yeah. I
a
like
little
that.
following
Mess
through
up
on
some fixes.
mess
Got
up
it.
some fixes.
Yeah, well, that's something we do lack on the show is
Yeah.
the follow
Some
through.
definitely clarification is
And
nice.
definitely clarification.
There's been a lot of times where I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I bring
Yeah.
up? You know, it's like,
Right.
you want
Or
to go back.
Totally. You say something wrong, you're like, that's not right. Okay, so on this show, this is a Disney show. Okay, we are doing it. We're talking Disney. We're gonna talk Disney Plus, D Plus, as Bird likes to call it. We're gonna talk
the D plus.
We're gonna
Sounds
talk
dirty.
D23. We're gonna do 2 Disney top 5s. We're like doing it. So that's what the show is gonna be about.
Super Disney.
This
time around.
Yeah, we're loving it. We're doing Disney. We're all wearing Disney shirts except for Dilly, of course.
Wearing a
Right,
DC
yeah.
shirt.
Of course.
Way to
You were
represent
so
Bill.
close. So close.
I didn't have one.
Of course
What are
you
you
don't.
gonna do?
You don't have a Peter Pan shirt.
I'm
You know-
fresh
oh.
out. Fresh out of a Peter Pan.
Wait, let's
Okay,
dive
so
into this.
so before we get into all of our Disney stuff, we are going to hear from our correspondent.
Correspondent.
Oh, so what's going on?
We're gonna do our correspondent.
Yes.
I wish I could give it more.
Reporting not live from an undisclosed location outside of the Triple HQ, staring in the window wishing it were me. This is Phil the News Guy for WHH News Sacramento.
WHH News.
Let's
Very
get to
clever.
it, ladies and gents. First article this week, Zombieland Double Tap dropped a trailer.
This is now the United States of Zombieland.
And it almost feels like it hasn't been 10 years since we last saw our heroes following the survival rules and evading horrible tragic deaths by zombie. The same team and cast from the original are back, so the fun will continue on. Just remember, kids.
Rule number 1 for surviving Zombieland: cardio.
Witcher showrunner Lauren Hisrich in an interview over the weekend mentioned that the show will be based on the books and will not draw inspiration from the video games.
What? Oh no!
She said there will be a scene that will pay homage to the games, but it'll be subtle. I'm just excited to see Superman hunting monsters with medieval weaponry and sorcery and junk like that. Speaking of Superman, Brandon Routh was announced to be playing Superman again in the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event, but instead of the boring Superman Returns version he played in the Bryan Singer movie, his character will be based on the fan-favorite comic Kingdom Come.
Oh, thank God.
A slightly darker version of Superman who has lost Lois Lane and essentially fights against other hero groups that rose during his mourning of her death that disregard human life. I highly suggest reading it if you haven't already. # Bryan Singer doesn't read.
Yes.
A basic story synopsis for Falcon and Winter Soldier came out stating the show will follow the government not wanting Sam to be the next Captain America. Come on! It's an interesting concept to play with, and I'm excited to see how they handle that storyline. Remember, kids, Sam Wilson is the current Cap in the comics, but Bucky has also held the mantle, so we'll see what happens. Lastly, Bill Shatner, the Trekkie god himself, has expressed that he would like to be in the R-rated Star Trek movie that Quentin Tarantino is working on. I'm kind of curious if we're going to see Kirk at his most Kirk, saying curse words and his deep, dramatic pauses.
That was terrible! Horrendous! I'm offended! I'm appalled! So what are we gonna do? Oh, what else? Email it to everybody we know! Good idea.
I mean, who doesn't want to be cussed out by Captain Kirk? # Dirty Kirk. Well, that's it this week, Sidekicks. And always remember, without a flux capacitor, you're just speeding. And that's breaking the law. Criminals.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
The White Ranger has spoken.
That was very
Oh,
funny.
that was
Yeah,
that
very
was funny. So Zombieland. So I don't know. I love that movie.
Fired up for that. Original
I
cast,
like that.
that's
I like
gonna
that.
be
It's
awesome.
gonna be good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be so good. Bird.
Now, 3 out of 4 people in this room agree. So
Womp womp
it's
bird.
gonna be here.
I just
No,
want to
Bird,
point
you're
out
not-
that Bird's never seen Zombieland, but
Oh,
she's
okay.
real poo-poo about it.
No, this is solely based on trailers. So
And
You know, you should watch this trailer because the
Fantastic
trailer looks good.
movie.
Fantastic. The
it's
trailer looks
fantastic.
good.
Well, Bird said it didn't look good.
I like the trailer. It brought back the original 4, so
Bird, you gotta see
Yeah.
this movie. It's
Well,
so good. It's so
yeah.
funny.
I mean, maybe I will.
Okay.
Is
And
it
then
on
they
Netflix?
teased like
know.
Luke Wilson.
I can let you borrow it.
I think
though.
actually it is.
I own it.
Either that or Hulu. I think they put it on.
Yeah,
recently.
it is streaming somewhere.
Okay.
I remember seeing it.
I was interested in the first one. I didn't see it.
Just see it.
I let it go. And then I saw,
Do it
the
for
second
the-
one. The More You Know? Was that
Do
us?
Pretty much.
Do it for the Hardly Heroes podcast, okay?
Lesson learned.
And
You
write
have
us
until October to see it.
Just
It comes
do
out in
it.
October.
and write us in.
Can I say I'm interested? I didn't know that Quentin Tarantino was thinking of doing a Star Trek movie.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
That sounds
well,
phenomenal.
I would totally watch that.
But Philippe has. I mean, I knew about it. Also, Philippe has written it, or he's given us news on that before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just blocked it out. Sorry.
I just don't know how far down the pipe that is.
Yeah,
yet.
I agree. I don't think it's
Is it
super
confirmed? I mean,
I don't think it's confirmed. I don't think it's super far down, but it's definitely like something he wants to do.
okay.
Well, he's
Well, it's a
supposedly
nice
going to do
theory.
10 movies, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a 9. So it could set up for, like, he's always wanted to do a Star Trek movie. That's his 10th one. He goes
Right.
out on... I find it odd that you know how many movies you're going to make.
I know.
Like...
That is
And
kinda,
that's
that
just-
is
he's
kind of
just
weird
like,
that
"And
you
I'm
set like a
done."
limit on
I know.
it.
Yeah.
And really, he's never going to make another movie for the rest of his life.
make 10 movies.
That seems crazy. He's not that old.
He knew what he was going to do way better in life than I did. So you're like, 10 movies,
Seriously,
I'm out.
Yeah, he had it like planned out.
I'm
right?
still like, do I want this job that I'm working at? So, well done.
So he also talked about Witcher, which we've
I'm very
talked
excited
about. Bert,
What is it?
Which
What is
one
it?
did you talk about?
AKA
the show,
the
Which one?
hotness.
Oh, the hotness. Yeah, because I love Henry Cavill.
of course.
I think he seems like he has a great personality. And I think the show looks cool. I like that kind of, I like fantasy, magic, stuff like that. So, but I haven't
Wait,
never read
did you watch it?
I watched the trailer and I am on hold for the books because I wanted to read the book
Ooh,
series.
are you going to try
So-
to read it before you see it?
There's like, I feel like there's like 5 or 6 books. So we'll see depending on.
Yeah, maybe at
how
least
fast
read
that
the
goes.
first one,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
before-
Because I feel like maybe that's what
Yeah.
the show first season's on.
Yeah, that's probably what they did. And then what else we got? He talked about Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got some notes on?
I got nothing on Superman.
Just crickets.
Nothing.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Just
the
yeah.
one thing that was
I'm not-
interesting is when I first read the news from Comic-Con, Brandon Routh, I thought he was going to play his version of Superman
Oh.
from the movie Superman Returns, Bryan Singer,
right.
2006.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he's playing a different, like an older version of Superman.
Okay.
So it'll be just interesting to see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Superman's just like doesn't.
And he
do
busted
it
out.
for me.
I will say this, like he during his Comic-Con panel, he opened up his shirt and he had like this special like insignia that was like the version of Kingdom Come Superman insignia.
Oh, okay.
Like
That's
that
cool.
version of his
Right.
S or
Mm-hmm.
House of L
That's
insignia.
cool. Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's cool. And then so Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's that's kind of an interesting take on it. I'm excited about that show. I'm not when the movie ended and he gave him the shield. I was just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like hashtag not my Captain America, but I just didn't know like how much more I want to see of it. Basically, you know.
But it makes sense. You know, the way I was thinking about it is like, Falcon was on the run, like he was in prison, in the last couple movies, right? So it almost makes sense. Like, hey, the United States doesn't want him to be the face, as Captain America. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It adds another layer of intrigue as to what's going to happen in the story. So I'm digging it. I like it.
That's cool. And then we also so William Shatner with the Aquarians, even though we are kind of talked about it, the Star Trek already, I'm super excited. That sounds good. I'm cool. I would love for him to be in it. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a TNG. Like, I mean, Picard.
the
Next Generation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, me too.
But Kirk's, he's the OG, so if
I mean,
he wants
if
to be
I-
in it, you got to have him
Well,
in it, right?
exactly. Like if I had to pick a captain, mine will always be Jean-Luc Picard. But Kirk being involved in it, William Shatner being involved in it, that's cool. That's just gonna be fun.
It definitely goes back to Quentin Tarantino. Like once again, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He does a lot of throwbacks to movies. He likes old Hollywood. He would have obviously loved Star Trek from the 60s.
Right.
Like those movies. So it makes sense that he would want to go that route. So
I'm into it.
Yep.
Thanks, Philippe.
Thanks, Felipe, our correspondent.
Phil?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Dr. Phil. News anchor Phil.
Yeah.
Phil's.
I 100% didn't put that together.
It's
Philippe
Phil.
and Phil. Yeah, no, it's cool.
Welcome to the podcast.
Correspondent.
She like doesn't make that. It's like the first 4 letters of
I
his
got it.
name.
I got it now.
Can we get into Disney now?
That was
No.
that noise in the middle there was a fairy getting its wings. So we're gonna move on to Disney news. So we this is where we transition whole show takeover, right?
To
Disney.
Nothing but if
All
you talk
Disney.
about anything besides Disney,
Yeah. Don't bring that DC shirt in here.
I know you don't take it off.
No.
You have to do the
I'm not
show
gonna get
shirtless.
undressed here.
All right, so we're starting with D23 Expo, which comes up in August, which is the D, surprise stands for Disney, and the 23 is the year that Walt Disney arrived in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So this is big, right?
yeah. Well, D23 is a membership. There's a free membership that everybody can do. There's like a gold and different levels where you have to pay and you get like a subscription to a magazine, invites to tours of the studio and stuff like that. But this is now that Disney owns so much, they could create their own con that rivals San Diego Comic-Con.
Does it really?
It's biannual, so it's every other year. So next year it's not going to happen.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's only every other year?
It's every odd year.
And
So-
I mean, is it as big? It's really
it's
that big?
getting bigger, and it's at the Anaheim Convention Center where they do WonderCon. I don't know the layout for San Diego Comic-Con, like the center, if it's bigger, but it's getting bigger. The first couple, it was like, oh, cool, they're doing a con, but like then it's like we have Star Wars, we have Marvel.
That's true.
Once they released, I believe it was 2 years ago, Marvel wasn't at San Diego Comic-Con because everything was at D23.
Oh, okay.
And so Marvel was, obviously at San Diego Comic-Con this time. But also this year, because they've acquired so much recently, they will have a lot of panels, and they'll be, having a lot of different properties that they didn't have before.
Right.
So keeping with the Disney part of it, they will be discussing the upcoming animated movies, which predominantly seem to be Pixar related. So
Ooh, I like that. Pixar are my favorite.
yeah. So Frozen 2 is like the next big like animated film coming out.
Right.
Which will Elsa get a girlfriend in this one or
What?
not?
Wait, wait.
Okay.
Wait, is that a rumor though?
Yes.
Bird?
Yeah.
Shut it.
It's a thing people, it's like a fan service thing people talk about online.
So you don't really think it's real?
Who knows?
I don't know. Disney, would they do it?
I don't
Would
know.
they
It's
do it?
kinda
They could.
pushing the boundaries a little bit.
It does. But it depends on your boundaries.
Right. Well,
and
for
so-
Disney,
yeah.
but for their animated, because I don't feel like they're that
'cause
conservative
that's
in
like
some
a-
other ways.
She could just have like a friend. She could make a new friend, and
That's an
how they could
A-list franchise.
swing it.
So yeah, that'll
Right,
be
like,
big if they do something
If
like
not,
Right, yeah.
it's definitely more like adventure based. Her and her sister, and Sven, and
Sven?
I'm messing up his name. I can't.
Olaf?
No,
Finn.
Christoph. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're the one with kids. You see
I got
Frozen
kids.
more than I do.
that. I've seen the trailer a bunch.
The animation too from the years of when Frozen came out. When you see the trailer, it looks amazing.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's not funny. Yeah, it looks really good.
And then the other one they're going to touch on is Onward, and I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this.
Yeah, I think it looks cute. I mean,
It
they
looks
don't
adorable.
show much, but it looks really cute. They got all the like fantasy characters or creatures like running around, like living in houses and
Yeah, it's like a modern
wearing
version
pants.
of, what if this was all real?
Right.
And then it's Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are the two main
that's right.
actors.
Okay.
right.
And so I think it looks cute.
Yeah.
Animation wise, it looks a little more kid maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, friendly. Yeah.
Wait,
but
so
is
that would
that's
be
Pixar?
that would be Spider-Man and
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then the other one they have is one called Soul, but like I've only seen the picture for it. No, I don't really
Right.
know if anybody knows what
Yeah,
it's about.
I don't
but-
actually know much about it.
So D23 Expo is where they're going to release that stuff, talk more about it. Maybe they release the trailer for Soul since it's the one they don't have a trailer for out yet. And then one of the probably main consuming things at the expo is going to be Disney Plus, D Plus, because it's going to incorporate, I know you guys have talked about it on the show
Right.
quite a bit, like
Yeah.
how it's going to work and everything, but they have Fox, They own Hulu, so they can do so everything that's on there, also their original programming. They own National Geographic, which I thought you might think is interesting.
That is.
a new
Because
one. I didn't know
you
they
know,
had that
you
too.
like Blue Planet and
I do.
stuff like that.
Planet Earth.
Planet
oh my
Earth.
god. And they own ESPN.
Yes.
Jeez.
Oh my God, they own everything.
So I heard.
That's why it's Disney Plus.
Yeah, I want to
ESPN,
touch.
Plus.
ESPN Plus. I want to touch on that.
Which
at the
is
end.
new.
It's
yeah.
called ESPN Plus.
Mhm.
Okay. So can you get
big
that?
deal.
Like if you get Disney Plus, like ESPN doesn't come with it, but you can like add these things onto
Who
it or
knows?
something. Because I
could
read
probably
that on the
bundle 'em.
Hulu, like you'll just be able to add Disney onto your Hulu subscription. I read that.
They haven't announced any pricing, but Hulu and Disney Plus, they said you can do some kind of upgrade or like bundle package.
Okay.
They're probably going to announce ESPN Plus as well, but they haven't yet.
Okay.
It might be here because people who are going to be at D23 Expo, they'll be able to subscribe to Disney Plus first. So I'm assuming that's where they
okay.
also lay out.
What?
This is how we're going. Yeah. This is how they're going to lay
going.
out.
It's not like they're gonna run out of subscriptions.
I mean, they're not going to.
That's true.
There's
I'm
only
done.
1,000
I don't think they
subscriptions.
get it before November, but you know, maybe they get a deal or maybe they get
Yeah.
a bundle or something because you paid. a
Sorry,
ton of
babe.
money.
Get the kids out of the minivan. False alarm. Dumb.
Do you want to talk about some of the other things that are going to be there? They get all the movies. All the
Oh, yeah.
No more Vault.
Last week,
Right. No more vault.
Shmi was asking about like what else is going to be on Disney Plus besides what we talked about in the Marvel new shows. So Disney Plus is going to be the streaming home is what they're calling it for Captain America, Dumbo, Avengers Endgame, Aladdin, Toy Story 4. So all that stuff is going straight to Disney Plus.
Okay.
After it comes out of theaters, of course. And then let's see. There's a 2-year kind of plan for Disney Plus live action stuff. So one of the first things they announced was Star Wars: The Mandalorian.
Right.
So that's Star Wars' first live action show. So real quick, shout out to Albie from the Theme Park Pulse podcast. He's also part of the 501st and the No Midnight Media crew. And we'll actually we'll hear from them later. So shout out to those guys.
yeah.
Those guys are great. Albie, who is in the 501st, you guys know what the 501st is?
I do.
Yeah,
So-
they were out at Free Comic Book Day.
They're the troop.
ahead.
They dress up in official, like authenticated, like
cool.
Star Wars, like stormtroopers, that sort of thing, clone troopers, whatever it may
Yeah.
be. So it's all official. It's like they build all this armor themselves. I'm super jealous. He's
Yeah,
like
it's like super cool.
Jenny calls him like my man crush because it's like, oh my god, he has all this equipment. It's so amazing. Anyway, so back to Albie. He they asked him, said, hey, we need some 501st guys. Can I can you come down? And he went down to L.A. and they took the 501st guys and put him in the Mandalorian.
What?
Without them knowing it. So like,
my
how baller is that for
Yeah.
like a Star Wars?
That's so
an
baller.
avid Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, oh, by the way, you're in our new show.
Right. That's insane. So the Mandalorian is going to be an actual like series. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. On Disney Plus, featuring what's his name? Pedro Pascal. Yeah. So he was the Viper from Game of Thrones. So he'll be.
Yeah.
He's the
Ooh.
Mandalorian,
He got his head crushed. I
right?
can't watch
Oh
that
god.
episode.
Oh my gosh, that's a terrible.
Spoiler alert for season
Seriously.
4.
So we talked about the Marvel stuff.
5. One more thing. So The Simpsons is another thing that they acquired.
Okay.
So I don't believe anywhere you can access all 30 seasons of The Simpsons, but when they have Disney Plus, you will.
Okay.
And so they'll be at D23 Expo.
Oh, cool.
And then the one added thing I was going to say on the ESPN Plus, they will also be there talking about their shows. And they have a sneaker center show that's coming. That's all about sneakers, which is how they're going to get you, Goat.
All about the goat.
Yes. To pay for Disney subscription.
You're getting it.
They're
A
coming
sneaker
for you.
show?
They're gonna
Yeah.
get you.
Sneaker Center. It came out like last month.
Sounds
It's going to be like
boring.
7 episodes. I mean, yeah.
Sounds like
Two-
trash to
2
me.
each
Yeah,
their
it sounds
own.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's going to be there. And then they have I don't understand why. And now I wish I was going to this expo. They have a panel called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. So he's going to be there.
What?
I don't know what he's
Wait,
doing there.
let's go, Bird.
I know.
I love Jeff Goldblum.
When is this again?
Oh my God.
August.
The 23rd through the 25th.
How
So
does he
Friday,
get like
Saturday, and
hotter
Sunday.
the older he
I have
gets?
no idea.
It
It's the
doesn't
same
make
with
any
Patrick
sense.
Stewart. It's the two of them. They went
You
to
think
that.
he's hot? He's old.
What?
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
Yeah,
The Fly?
Jurassic Park,
Yes.
The Fly. Yeah.
Yeah. He's,
No, have you seen him now?
Did
With
you
his
see
like
him
gray
as Dr.
speckles
Malcolm?
and his
Yeah, I've seen him.
pants and his pants. Have
Oh
you
my
seen
God.
his
his
pants
tight
on him?
pants?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
his pants.
Oh my.
He's adorable.
God, he's so hot. He's like
So-
tall and long and like
Yeah.
kind of dorky and cute.
You just described Logan.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
so
I don't.
weird.
I don't want that. I mean, no, you
Excuse
didn't.
me, Bird.
I'm the one who also loves him. So that's clearly some kind of, I don't know why,
And I know,
fan
like,
service
yeah.
for Goldblum fans that they would be at this Disney thing. But if you were like, oh, I don't want to go, but there's a Jeff Goldblum panel, so
I would go.
That's the selling point. I love Disney, but this was like the
That was
nail
like
in
the
the
icing
coffin.
on the
I was
That was
like,
it.
what? So
Jeffy?
yeah.
Okay, ladies, it's
Goldie
getting it's getting
Blooms?
warm in here.
Yeah, we'll go to your.
It's getting hot in here. Diddly tick on your clothes.
Oh jeez. So then do you want to, I don't know if you want to take over Marvel. Marvel is going to be here, even though it was at San Diego Comic-Con and they did the supposed Phase 4, which I don't believe is all
what-
of Phase 4, but whatever.
Wait, what? So what are they even going to be talking about then at D23?
Well, at the end, San Diego Comic-Con, they were like, there are other things coming up. So they only showed, I think, footage from Black Widow. So I think that they could open up for showing something. Are they filming the shows yet? Maybe something from that?
I think so.
Oh, so you think they'll just have they're not going to
Yeah.
release any new stuff. They'll just have maybe.
maybe.
Black Widow's filming right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But they said when they released the program that it will be, looking behind the scenes. So maybe it's video of them filming things for upcoming films, and then a peek at other exciting projects from Marvel Studios with exclusive footage and appearances. So more of the actors will be there. And I'm assuming more of the actors in the shows that they didn't address, like Black Panther, and
Okay.
Spider-Man,
Right.
and Guardians of the Galaxy. So, yeah, I mean, they have so much now. They seem to be able to split between both these cons.
Right.
yeah, so even
It's like
though
they have enough content for that.
Exactly, but they're saving like all the juicy,
Right.
all the good stuff for D23.
Oh,
that
Yeah,
makes sense.
it was just announcements at San Diego Comic-Con.
That's a good point.
basically,
So we're going to get more like the meat and potatoes?
we'll
Yeah,
see.
they're gonna dig
Taters?
taters.
You guys will get to cover that.
in. Tater snacks.
If they have taters there, I'm going to go.
It's also Marvel's 80th anniversary, so they'll be doing panels there on that for the comics, which is
Oh, okay.
cool. And then they have a pavilion as well to discuss Marvel Land, which is coming to Disney California. If you go, they have walls up right now that say Stark Industries.
Where
because
are they putting it up at?
they took out Bugs Land.
Oh, yeah.
Which
so
isn't a big footprint. It's like right in the middle of
it's a fairly
DCA.
it also
aka
leads you over to the Guardians of the
Yeah, it
Galaxy
leads you over
ride,
there.
so it kind of becomes all
Oh yeah,
extended.
yeah, that's a good point.
So
Yeah.
I haven't really been to California Adventures since they put in the Guardians,
You haven't been on that
right?
yet?
No.
Same. Haven't
So
been.
so
Oh, wait.
so did they kind of?
You didn't go on Tower of Terror either, did you?
No, well, I did go on it because people always force me. But did they kind of? It's so scary. Did they kind of
great.
change that area to be more Marvel?
No, just that ride is there, and so once they change Bugs Land, you will kind of integrate
they'll
from
do a
there,
little more.
and then as you walk, like if you were walking from Bugs Land up to Guardians of the Galaxy, you go left,
Right,
and get
it's
to more of
right
that
there.
Hollywood area and where that theater is.
So
and
where
stuff.
Bugs
Hyperion.
Land is going to be Marvel Land, and then that ride's going to be part of it.
Yeah, and then they took out one of the rides from Bugs Land. It's now the Emotions movie. It's the emotional.
Emotions.
Inside Out.
Inside
Inside
Out.
Out, yeah. there
Yeah,
you go.
because the whole pier is Pixar.
The
so,
emotional
like,
movie?
Yeah,
Like, what is that?
there's so many options.
terrible.
Do you remember when we were there? We rode that one where it would look like a box of Chinese food that you
Oh,
rode
yeah.
around. Yeah. So they just kind of refurbished that
Okay.
and made it into the different emotions. It's cute. But it makes me think that they're going to go older with the stuff that they're putting in Marvel Land as opposed to targeting kids who watch Bugs Land, like 3, more maybe like 13, 14.
Right. And that's cool because
all the way up
Bugs
to
Land was
50
always kind of
who are into
wasted
comics.
on
Yeah.
me a little bit.
And so right now, we can just transition to talking about parks if that works, unless you think we have anything else
For sure.
D23. the Bugs Land Theater, which used to be super cool.
I love the Bugs Land Theater. Remember, it would like spritz water and it would like get you on your leg.
Yeah,
like
it would
that?
feel like the seat was running
Oh my
underneath.
God.
Have you been?
No.
I hate
Oh, and,
your
and the
feigned-
little crawlies
And you
on your
get the
back.
crawlies. Oh,
your
so
feigned
good.
interest gets me as a nerd about this. You're like,
know.
oh, and then I realize you don't care.
No. It's I've
so
never been-
anyway-
I care, but I just haven't been there, so I'm not in the know.
What if the soundtrack was by like Trent Reznor? Would that get you?
That would help.
Okay.
That would definitely help.
Were you there when it was there Disney California the last time you went, or was it just Disneyland?
No, it was just Disneyland. It's
Oh
been
my God.
so
So
long.
long.
How long-
Super long. Like
How long has California Adventures been?
Oh my gosh, I went there when it initially
Oh, I know.
opened.
And it was like 2001.
Yeah, it was like 2001.
yeah.
So 18 years.
When
You haven't-
were you
This
last
is like
there?
the 80s.
Oh my gosh, were you like
Right.
4?
Like 5 or 6.
That's the one and only time you've been?
It's 100%
A lot
totally
of
different
times
place.
during,
Okay.
that time frame as a
Okay.
child. But
That's-
yeah.
So what was
Wow.
there?
I
Like,
haven't been since.
like just Main Street?
Yeah,
were
like
you
all
wearing
your-
like were you wearing like a wool suit or something?
Fleece,
Like
I
old
was wearing
school.
a fleece wool flannel. But, but yeah, it's been super long.
That's crazy, Dill. You
I
know,
know.
we need to make a HH
We
trip.
do. We
Oh my
do.
gosh, could we
Road
get one
trip.
together?
Yes, that
We
would be
should.
so much fun.
I'm always ready.
That'd be hella fun.
Yeah, because I actually haven't been, like I said, I haven't been on the Guardians ride, so it's been like 2 years probably. When did they put that in?
2017.
Yeah, so it's been like 2 years since I've been, or maybe 2.5. Ugh, that's
Maybe
too long for me.
It's really long. I haven't been since
Since May.
July.
Right. It's been like a couple months.
Like 4 months.
It's been 4 months. You're Jones.
I had to count.
I went in April, so I guess I'm more of a Disney fan than you.
No.
So I guess.
It's not a competition. I'll
Oh,
be
maybe it
there in
is because I'm
September.
winning. I'm winning.
I went twice in March. So, anyway,
Not
the
the
last
point.
thing on the Marvel Land is that the theater is now a Spider-Man ride.
Oh,
will be
cool.
what that becomes.
Oh, so they'll do. Or is it still going to be kind of one of those feely things? You think?
Well, so they have something building up from the top of it. So I don't know if it's still going to be more of a show. People are just being able to see construction happening for the most part.
okay.
They haven't, which I'm assuming at D23 is where they
Yeah,
like give
release
you the
it.
model of what it's going to be.
Right.
And there's supposedly going to be a village area and a brewery. So let's make a trip.
I know. Like,
Dill.
okay, Dill, you can
Yeah.
do
Now I'm
that.
in.
Yeah,
Now I'm
there we
definitely
go.
in.
Oh, now
He
you're
just
speaking
There's a
his
brewery
language.
there?
Marvel
perked up.
Brewery.
Let's go.
Yeah. I wish they would let you like have people who love Disneyland or just the public like name the beers that are there. Would be hilarious to be able to do.
Have you, Bird? Have you like seen any of this on like social media about like some mom ranting about millennials?
I have.
Childless millennials.
Childless
Yeah.
millennials.
And then I guess the New Yorker or something, not,
Yeah, it was the
or
New York
maybe
Post,
the
I
New
think.
York Post wrote an article about like, yeah, it's kind of true.
It's not true. I mean, it's not whatever. You have the most fun as a childless millennial.
Right. I
when
think
you're
that
there.
yeah, I think people with children,
They're just
sorry,
jealous.
James, are just jealous that we're
Yeah.
moving around the park
Oh,
so
Wait,
freely.
who are we arguing against? Parents or
Yeah, we're arguing against parents.
I would okay.
No,
You can argue
only-
against parents that are
only
like
parents,
annoyed.
Only parents that are annoyed that people without children go.
Yeah.
Like they want people without children to be banned from Disneyland.
Which is weird
Ew.
because
That's not cool.
yeah, I mean, there are things there that are for adults. There always have been.
Yeah.
Walt Disney said it's for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Disney
children at heart.
himself.
Yeah.
Like,
So caring.
and so yeah, I find that weird. I think that's just kind of like I think I should be in the line.
Right.
One person wasn't keeping you from getting a
I
pretzel.
know.
You know, like oh, this line.
Yeah, that-
no churros for you, kid, because that lady's there, which is totally what she was making it seem like. So too far,
Okay,
and
yeah.
who knows if that's even real.
I know that's true.
So
It's the internet.
yeah,
You can't
it's the-
believe everything you read.
So that's all I have for Marvel. I mean, because yeah, I believe you guys will probably be able to cover it if they release a land to know more
Right.
what you could go do.
Yeah, so when D23 actually happens, we'll be covering a lot more of this to see kind of what's
Because we're all going.
Yeah, I think we planned the HH trip about around when Marvel Land opens.
happening. Okay. Done.
It's in your guys' wheelhouse. It's Marvel.
Wait, when is Marvel Land opening?
Way
Next year,
overdue.
right?
Oh, okay. We got time.
Yeah, because I want to go check out Star Wars Land, of course.
I'm so excited.
Galaxy's Edge, but I kind of wanted to give it a little, some space. I didn't want to be that like needy person.
Needy nerd.
Yeah,
I'll
that
be
just
there in
needs it the
September.
second that it opens.
But it's been out for from what I hear, I think
Yeah.
it's okay to go. Like everybody was expecting it to be like, crowds are going to be 10 out of 10 for the next 3 months. But all the pictures that I've seen,
They keep saying like it's not full. They set up where you could go on the Disneyland app, which I recommend you getting if you're going to
The Max
Disneyland.
Pass.
You can get your Max Pass on there. And you could set up like, if it was busy, they would allow like certain people to go in at one time or the other. And it's constantly, you never have to sign up for that. It's all open.
So are they still doing the thing where you have a time limit in there?
No, it's
Oh,
just
that's
open.
over? Okay.
no time limit, but there's
Well,
it's
yeah,
a
there's
reservation
this
of
boarding thing
when you
if
get
they're
in.
full, but they
Right.
have yet to really be full. So.
They're not kicking people out.
Because in the
Anymore.
beginning, they were doing a time frame.
Yes.
Okay, but that's done. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the
It
clarification.
doesn't even seem like it would have been fun to go then. Like it was people, even though people were getting to go in this set amount of time, so many people were there.
Right.
That's just too much.
Yeah,
like,
you
you gotta
couldn't
let
get
the
into
crowds.
There's
back
a
down
bar.
You gotta let it settle.
Yeah, you couldn't get into the bar. You couldn't build a lightsaber. You couldn't build a droid. I would have been pissed if I couldn't build a droid.
Should we talk about what
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge is?
Yeah.
Like what it means.
Like kind of the history behind it? I mean, there's some deep nerdness.
Yeah, let's
about
get into
it.
that.
And that's all you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Star Wars nerdness? It's like totally you.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, get into the
So-
deep nerd.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not the cantina from the normal Star Wars. Galaxy's Edge is supposed to be like an outer rim outpost, like on the planet of Batu. I don't know what that is either.
Okay.
But we're all learning together. But so I think what they're doing is they're trying to make sure that the Galaxy's Edge takes place in Disney's kind of Star Wars universe.
Okay.
So it's taking place in the between like episode, what is that, 7, 8, 9. So it's that world, actually right now it's going to take place before the First Order comes about. So this is a little bit of a tease
okay,
for
right.
the First Order. So
Yeah.
This is
things
before
may
7 then? Is that what?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
a little bit out there. So right now there's a bunch of different things, but really there's only one ride right now.
Right, and that's so weird.
I think that leans toward the crowds as well. Like if you were like, I'll wait to go for crowds today, why wouldn't you wait till the second ride opens too? Like if you're
So
for
when is
people
the second
going.
ride opening?
It's not till next year, like January of next year. But think about it this way: people were so hyped for Cars Land. How many rides are in Cars Land?
3.
Like 3, right? But there's only one main attraction ride.
That's true.
So
Yeah, no, that is
But
true
they were
because the
all
other ones
open.
are kind of small.
Yeah, they were also all open
But
when
the thing
Cars Land
with
opened.
but the thing with Cars Land is it's like the experience of it is really cool, which is probably what it's like. With,
it's that immersive, like you're in
right?
that
Because
world.
I actually, when I go to Cars Land, it's not even like I'm thinking that like, oh, there's not enough rides here. I just love walking around like Radiator Springs and all that. So that's probably what Star Wars Land is like.
That's exactly.
You're
It's
just
all
like being in the world.
immersive. So you're
Right.
all like in the Star Wars world, and
Right.
they even take it a step further. So like, you know how like you go to Disneyland and there's all the Disney merch and everything's themed Disney and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
None of that is happening in Disneyland. In
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. It's all Star Wars specific, and nothing's like, oh, it's got a Disneyland logo. None of that is happening.
Oh, okay.
So it's all like Star Wars
Right.
specific
Right.
merchandise. And then they take it a step further, and all the workers, I wouldn't call it, are they Imagineers? Technically?
No, they're cast members.
Cast
and-
members, thank you.
Oh, right.
So they're all kind of role playing
Mm-hmm.
in this immersive Star Wars world of Galaxy's Edge. So you don't be like, hey, can I get a Coca-Cola? They're like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have Coca-Cola. We have these fine beverages, and there's
Oh, so even the people like selling you lunch
exactly.
in character,
Yeah, so I've
not
heard-
just like how in the other parts it's like, okay, Woody's walking around and he's Woody.
Oh no, like the person checking you out is like Rising Suns, which means good morning in
look at
Like
you.
fully playing the part.
Yeah.
more
Right.
or
That's
less.
cool. That's cool.
So everybody's like role playing within the park. So it'll be an interesting experience. And I think from what I hear, the inside nerd Star Wars knowledge is that as the new movie comes out and as they start supporting like the backstory behind this land, things will start
yeah.
evolving. Like
Changing, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Because that keeps
Yeah.
people coming back.
so, like there's gonna be books and comics and maybe even some animated shows come out where some of those characters are in the land and some of them are there now, and you don't even know it. Don't look at me like that's crazy nerd knowledge.
No. Bird just hit her face on the pop shield.
My glasses.
And I laughed at her, and then we didn't mean to interrupt you.
let it go
Wait,
like it was
are
I'm
you
sorry.
are you nerd shaming me right
You
now?
drew attention to it.
Bird, hey,
I'm very
don't
sensitive.
Don't make me bring that up.
Let's save it. Let's get through this. Disney, focus.
So
Come on,
we're
cheese.
all excited to go there, basically, the Star Wars land.
We're all excited to go, but I want to give it some time.
They also have one thing I saw from people that I follow on Instagram who are there all the time. Like the different doors have panels that you look at, and you can use your phone. There's like an app, and like it'll decode things for you, or their games and things like that. So it's a little interactive throughout that land as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
And then the characters they have right now are just Kylo Ren, Rey, Chewbacca. You know how it keeps it the most recent.
Okay.
Because I saw people
So-
asking like, why isn't Darth Vader there?
Yeah, they're
And
not
it's-
gonna have, and they're not gonna have that.
So far, no. Plus, they have that. I mean, they technically almost kind of have two Star Wars areas because they have Tomorrowland, which has Star Tours, and they have Jedi training over there.
Oh yeah, are they still doing all that?
Yeah.
And
So as far as I
so
know,
Darth Vader is over there.
Yeah, because you can't move Star Tours.
Oh.
you
Right,
know.
and wasn't Space Mountain for a hot minute themed?
They do it around Halloween. They'll have it like fire, like hyperspace or ghost space, or
But
like
didn't
that
they
kind
have
of-
it space or Star Wars themed for a second?
Oh, you know what? You're right. You did go by a ship at one point. It might be I don't think it's the hyperspace one, but I believe
Oh,
you're right.
deep cuts.
Yeah.
Deep cuts, nerd knowledge. Huh?
Well, I just remember that is all. When Logan and I went a few years
Yeah,
ago.
because it's like you're shooting stuff, and then like the X-wings would go over. Yeah, inside of there. Yeah, you're right. They did have it Star Wars themed. I mean, it's not anymore,
Okay.
but
It was just for like maybe the new movies coming out back
yeah,
in
that
the
makes
day.
sense. Because they do stuff where they theme for like you want to go to Disneyland now because they're doing this.
Right,
You know,
right,
like
yeah.
they had Put Your Ears On last year, which was like different foods and celebrating Mickey's birthday. You know, they have like stuff throughout the year.
Okay, right.
I went for
So
all the food.
should we talk about like some of the highlights of Galaxy's Edge and
Oh, yeah.
what to expect? So they had that reservation system in place, and it ended like in June, but now they have this like queue system. I don't know what exactly they call it, but it's all about the Disney app, right? Is that what? Yeah. So you kind of set up your time to go in, and then you're able to walk through the land, do the rides, and everything like that. So that's a pretty cool system. I guess it's really working for the crowds.
And that's all done on the app.
It's all done on the app.
Right.
So like people have been complaining about, or not complaining, but like thinking about the crowds are going to be crazy. The crowds haven't been that crazy inside the land.
No.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, people have been saying oddly enough. Plus, Disneyland also changed like the annual passes, like who could go over the summer and stuff. So they are doing a lot in regards to crowd control.
Oh, to try to like make it a little more enjoyable for the people that are there.
Yeah, people who've been going have said like Disneyland's not that packed because people have gone over to Star Wars Land because they're there to check that out. So
Oh, right.
get on Peter
That's not too
Pan.
crazy.
Maybe the
Oh,
line is
Peter
shorter.
Pan.
I was joking.
So they have boarding groups is like getting on an airplane, or how is that how they're setting it up now? That's what it sounds like.
Pretty
Now
much.
calling A.
Yeah.
Right. Like now boarding a group.
But you only have to do it if it's busy. If it's
Okay.
not busy, you just walk in.
Just roll
okay.
up.
I didn't know
Alright.
that part. Sweet.
And well, that it'll tell you that on the app.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So if it's not
There's an
busy,
app
you can
for
just
that.
walk in. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
nice, nice,
Honestly, it's like this is just crazy. It's like remember when you used to just have to like show up to a line and be like, "How long is this?"
Right.
And now you just
It's
don't
so
even
much
have
more information, so you don't have to walk places. Which
You don't
oh
have to
God.
keep-
That's great. Just
You don't have to want to cut your own feet off anymore
I know
because they hurt so
Seri-
bad.
Like Logan and I used to like go park to park, park to park. You know,
Yes.
like just trying to get fast passes for here, fast passes here, fast passes there. Oh,
Now it's all the app.
now I can sit down and have some I don't know, falafel. Do they have that there?
no,
You can get some blue
they have
milk
fried
or
pickles.
you can get some blue milk or tip yip in Galaxy's Edge.
They
What's
have
Tippy
green
Up?
milk too?
And green milk, yes, very good. So the food inside Galaxy's Edge is not like, hey, give me a burger or pizza. It's all, again, immersive. So everything is like, I don't know what you'd call it, like kind of space alien-ish.
you're like a Jedi burger or
Yeah.
something like that, or
Not even that. It's like, hey, would you like a tip yip? And they're like, what is that? But what is it? It's chicken. Like, here's your
Okay.
chicken nuggets. Or like, here's your blue milk, that sort of
But
thing.
does it like say it underneath what it is? Like you'll
They-
be like,
I don't know.
Tip-Yip, and then
I don't know. I
there's-
haven't been.
Like-
Let's go. Get out that Hardly Heroes credit card. Let's do this.
roll out.
Why are you stalling?
Research.
I know. Right off. But also, they also have mobile ordering. So I guess that's a big thing Nowadays,
mobile order.
you can. Oh, fancy.
What? You can like Postmate inside Disneyland?
No. Only at certain restaurants.
Postmate.
And you go onto their website. I mean, go onto the app. It's all in the app. You got to download it.
Oh my God,
They're
this
forcing
app.
you to download it. And then certain restaurants, you just set it up, your time, and then there's a different window. You avoid the lines, so you could still have children and go to Disneyland if you wanted.
If
So
you
you-
want
It
a
sounds
pretzel.
so convenient. Like for
It's
everything.
all about multitasking. So you can order food while you're getting
Your fast
some
pass.
kind of adult beverage. You know,
Right.
and
Too.
They're like, let us
So-
organize your money spending for you. Like,
so that
so that you
We'll
can
help
spend
you.
more money.
we'll
we should-
streamline the
we
money.
should talk about that. So what is it? Olga's Cantina? I think that's what it's called. So that's a cantina inside the land.
Wait, that's in Disneyland?
Inside inside Galaxy's Edge.
There's alcohol?
Yes, yeah, it's going to be the first place in Disneyland.
In Disneyland.
Proper, outside of Club 33, where you can have
Get your
alcohol.
swerve on.
Yeah.
What?
And they have
Get
like
perked.
collector glasses. I mean,
Oh,
cups. I'm totally
I'm
going to
Start-
so excited.
Start feeling that force. You know
I
what I'm
had to
saying?
go to California Adventures like 4 times a day.
Exactly.
I had
you
to
can-
sauce up.
Just to get
Yeah.
adult beverages.
I had to get the
I'm
little,
sure it's like
little tips.
$100 for like a small little beer or
know.
something like
Yeah,
that.
like
but
$32 for that 12 ounce.
but
Of,
you're
like,
gonna pay for it because it's
Budweiser?
Disneyland. You're gonna be happy.
You got to set your limits high. So when you're like, oh, this is only $10, you're like, give me a couple.
Seriously,
you know?
yeah.
You're gonna spend like $100 on alcohol, and spending $100 to buy a droid is not gonna be a big deal.
No, it's $100 for a lightsaber, which you get to build. Build
No.
your own lightsaber.
Yeah,
What?
it's 200.
Oh, 200.
Sorry about
It's
that.
200.
But it's a
200?
custom lightsaber.
Yeah, it's custom. You pick out all your pieces.
Yeah, you can customize it so it's like you get to pick the color of the saber, the kyber crystal. You get to choose
What's
all your
that?
different pieces. What?
What's a kyber crystal?
That's what makes it
Kyber crystal.
Glow.
power.
I'm joking.
But yeah, really glow.
It's the Kyber crystal.
Don't
Are those
shame
from
me.
Kybers? No.
You know what? Who's the real nerd shamer? Is it Bird?
I was just making sure you're explaining. What if somebody doesn't know what's in a lightsaber?
Right?
Bird,
not-
I feel like
not
Bird
just-
nerd shames in a different way, which is like if you're not correct, she's gonna super like
bust you.
That makes
condescendingly.
me more of a nerd
Tell
to
you?
want to have correct information. But I want to make a droid. The droid is only $100. See, lower your expectations. Oh,
Okay,
is a
all right.
lightsaber $200?
All right.
You can make a droid.
Get a
for
droid.
Yeah,
You can hang
And
out with your crappy
It's
droid.
it's like an RC car. Like it drives. And
Oh, so
everything.
you have a little control of it?
Yeah, you get to put all the colors.
Wait, do you get to
together.
sit in
I'll
it
pay
like one of
$100 for
those
that.
like
No,
kids?
it's like
It's
a
a little, like-
droid,
yeah.
I don't know, like 15 inches high, and you can make either a BB-8 or an R2, and you can do the colors like purple or red, or and then you get to drive it.
That's cool.
$100.
That
Does it come with a camera?
ooh.
No, but I think it comes with like a bag, like some kind of carrying
It
bag.
comes in a box. Like, look, I just adopted a droid.
I think if you're like rolling it around the land, it'll like interact with the land. So if you like roll up near something, it can interact with. It'll like sense it.
I don't know how to
Exact-
beep like a.
No, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
That was it.
Do you think you get like adoption papers and
It's
is
like
it
a pound puppy.
It's not. It's not a
like a
cabbage
Cabbage
patch.
Patch,
Oh, me and
Hey,
the
did that just happen? I felt
Hey,
that.
Me and the
Jinx.
Dills. Me and the Dills. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the lightsaber. Though. I'm gonna.
That does
Wait,
sound
did
cool.
Dilly, did you have a Cabbage Patch doll growing up?
No, but I think like my sister might have had one.
You know, because
Yeah.
brother James had a Cabbage Patch.
What?
What?
Wait.
His own.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
no, he had his own.
James,
Yeah,
your older brother had a Cabbage Patch.
dude. His
Are
name
you kidding me?
his name was JJ, and
Of course.
he had him forever. We need James to write in because he's not
Wow.
ashamed of it. He loved that thing, but he was like a boy about it though, so he would like hang it from the ceiling. It wasn't like he was snuggling with it.
So
you know?
he gave me a bunch of crap for liking Pearl Jam, but he had a Cabbage,
Cabbage Patch?
Patch.
And also my mom made the Cabbage Patch, so it was like a knockoff
Oh.
Cabbage
Whoa.
Patch.
Well,
wait,
you
wait,
know,
wait.
if mom,
He didn't
if
actually-
Mammy made it, that's different.
It didn't have adoption papers.
Well,
Your
you know,
mom just sewed it?
we're actually
Like a
gonna have to
knockoff.
ask James about that because we had official Cabbage Patch dolls, but then we also had handmade Cabbage Patch because my mom could buy the Cabbage Patch head and then sew the body.
Just like sewed the dimples up into it.
Anyway, sorry to derail.
No, that's an amazing story. I appreciate that.
So moving on, we're still
Yeah.
talking about.
I'm excited
Parks.
about Galaxy's Edge. I don't know, Bert. I don't know when you're going. I'm going
September?
potentially next month. No, I'm talking potentially next month So you guys should go.
He has the spirit stick.
In September.
Yeah.
I'm going in September.
Twinsy.
What
What
day are you
time?
going?
We're going sometime after like mid. So it's Halloween. So like after
Yeah,
mid
yeah.
Are
September.
you going? Bert,
I'm
at the same
going
time?
September 17th,
Maybe. Yeah.
which is a Halloween party.
Yeah. We're going for like we're gonna go for the Halloween themed
Can
Disney.
I ask a question?
No, you can't get a ride. I got kids in the back seat. You can't
Right, you got to drive
get your
yourself.
own Uber.
No, I actually had a question. Do you guys both have season passes? Annual passes?
I do.
James?
I am not a passhole yet, but
I love
you
that
know,
phrase.
we shall soon see about doing that.
Okay. And
But
are your kids young enough where you don't have to pay for them?
So, we have twins and they're 1 year old, so we don't have to pay for them. Yeah. So we don't have to pay for them, which is good because the cutoff is 2.
Oh, I thought it was
And
3 years old.
It's 2.
Just keep them pretending.
What do you
like
care,
they're-
childless millennial?
I'm just trying to save
Stay
you
out of my
money.
Disneyland.
And then our son Chemo is 4, but we have him trained from the get. So like we're like, hey Chemo, how old are you? He's like, I'm 4. How old are you in Disneyland? He's like, I'm 2.
Nice.
So he knows like, hey, when we get to the gate, you're gonna sit in the stroller and
All
you're
right.
gonna hunch
Look
up
small.
together.
Yeah.
Look
Exactly.
small, put a blanket on.
Don't
he
talk.
knows. He knows. Yeah,
That
exactly.
is so
Because they can't
funny.
they can't go, I think your kid looks like they're 4. He's like, they're just
Right.
big. Are you trying
Yeah,
to
you're like,
shame
hey,
my
I have a
child?
fat kid, okay?
Yeah, and then, please go through, sir. You know?
Exactly. We got it down.
You're like, how long do you think you can get away with that?
Until he's like 30. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes.
The pacifier is clutch. Just give them a pacifier. They don't have to say anything. Just cover them up in a blanket. You're good.
Yeah.
That is kind of funny, Bird, though, that point where it's like people don't want to tell you that you have like a fat kid or whatever, you know? So
But
you
it works. It works for Disneyland.
They're like, why does
entry.
your kid have a mustache? Though?
You're like, how dare you?
Like he fell in the dirt. It's a Sunday.
Yeah, so you're going. Let me know when you decide to go.
Yeah,
'cause
we'll figure it
I'm
out.
not going to the Halloween party, but it's fun.
So if you guys go at the same time, we need some pictures so we can put them up on our Harley Heroes because
Oh yeah, we can report back from the
and
edge.
also
Yeah, for real. We'll do that.
wear a Harley Hero shirt or something.
We'll chime in, do some audio, like from Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
Yeah, we'll send
Reporting.
our sidekick mail.
Yeah.
See if I can get some. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
me and my droid that I make will.
Are you gonna
will
get a
write
droid?
in. I totally want a droid, but then what am I gonna do with it afterwards?
Exactly.
It's gonna be the Disney air is gonna get to me, and I'm gonna be like, yes, I have to have it, and it'll just be
and
on
then
my
it's
shelf.
just gonna be a cat toy for Franklin and
Mm.
Eleanor.
Yeah, well, that's fine. It's $100 cat toy.
You're gonna name it R2 like regret or something like that. Anyway,
Still want it.
so let's talk about Disney in the next couple months, so we can keep going on our Disney extravaganza. Oh, did I use the wrong word? Disney.
No, you're good.
Okay. So Halloween in Disneyland's coming up. When is it start? September?
September 6th, I believe. Might be the 9th.
So don't they already do a Halloween thing?
They do Halloween theme through the park, but then you can pay a separate ticket. You go in. You can basically go in like 3 hours before the park closes. And it's always been at Disneyland. And then you have to have a wristband, so you just show that.
Okay,
They-
so
yeah,
Logan,
so
Logan and I did that before.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you like it? It was in Disneyland, and now this year is the first year it's in Disney California.
Okay, I see. So yeah, we did it when it was in Disneyland. It was super fun. We got an insane amount of candy.
It's awesome.
Like I can't even tell you how much candy we got.
Wow.
It's super fun though.
Yeah.
I would totally do it again. It is like an extra price, but the year we did it, we had annual passes, so it was like
You basically just paid for a ticket
right.
to go.
So, but
Yeah.
I feel like if you're paying that day to pay for a ticket and do that on top, it's kind of a lot of money. But
But you do get in 3 hours earlier, so if you're paying $100,
yeah, I guess that's
the
true.
park closes say 10 or 11,
That's worth
and
it.
then they close for everybody else in public by
Right, but
like
you get to
6. You can
stay.
arrive at 3 o'clock,
Right.
so you get like half a day. You get to dress up, and I will say the one thing with it being in California is the Guardians ride. They change up
Yes.
for Halloween, and so it's like there are monsters in there, so it's scary, and the cast members look like they're wearing like vests like they're construction workers or something, but like they're ripped and they have blood on them.
Oh, cool.
And when you get in there, it's like Rammstein is this music, and
Du
you're like,
hast,
"Du-du-du,"
du
and it's
hast
just
mich,
yeah,
du hast me.
it's amazing.
Du hast mich verlassen.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get taken down for that? Sorry.
You might.
It's so perfect that they thought you played them.
Oh, speaking of that, I guess we've been drinking. Shout out to Sports Meets Beer again. We've been drinking, and it's showing.
Thanks. Only
And
from being
real
hot.
quick, last thing on the parks for Halloween, Coco, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a Coco thing,
Oh, cool.
like Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh,
set
nice,
it up.
nice.
It's there all the time. They had it last year too, and so since it's like Day of the Dead, people can go like sign little papers and people hang them up or do little messages.
Oh,
like, it's
that's
actually
cool.
kind of really sweet when
sounds
you're over in
real
that
cool.
area. I mean,
Right.
sure, it's commercialized. It's a Disneyland, but it's cool.
Yeah, they're recognizing.
Yeah, so that's really fun, and it's like a different part. So
Coco.
I think that's all. Does this remove it? What? We move into the double stuff.
Double
Double
stuff?
stuff. That's
Double
what I'm talking
stuff.
about.
That's
Double
what I
stuff.
wanted to call it. Double.
I should have got some double stuff Oreos.
I know. I totally thought about it.
Me
Ugh,
too.
that's dumb.
I have regular stuff.
How are we going to do this? There's so much.
Okay,
much.
so Sidekicks. We are
This is our-
doing 2 top 5s.
Top 5.
Speed round.
Top
Hey.
5.
Good job.
So, no, don't
What?
don't press it yet.
How many times can I?
Because you say it and then you press it. So I have to hear you say it, then I have to hear brother say it. So you either say it
working
or he
on-
says
I'm-
it.
But I'm gonna try to record over his. I'm practicing.
Okay.
Should I still do it? Or?
Fine. Let's-
Top 5.
there you go.
Actually, James texted me, brother James,
Mm-hmm.
and said that he could have taken because last show I yelled at you because you pressed it 4 times.
Yeah.
And he's like, I
He
think I
wanted
could have
more.
taken a few more of those.
Yeah, he wanted more. He loves hearing his own voice. We all know that.
So we're gonna do top 5 Disney park experiences 1st, and then we're gonna do top 5 Disney favorite Disney movies.
Do you have those still?
Yes.
Wow.
I got him.
Both of
That's
them?
Yeah, it was kind of a challenge, but I filled in the blanks.
All right.
Let's hit it. Let's do this. Who's
Yeah.
starting it off?
Number 5.
So we'll go Dilly, Shmee, Bird, then
What's your name?
James.
Which one are we?
don't
Which
have a
one are we
name.
doing first, though?
I wanted to call him
Oh,
Parmesan.
do you not have any park experiences?
Oh yes, I do.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Dilly, come correct, okay? So
boy.
okay, go.
Okay, me first.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Okay,
Wait,
so number
does
5
anybody
experience?
have honorable mentions?
Oh, yeah, I do. Mine's little, but yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't have any Dilly.
No honorable mentions.
Okay, Bird.
I think one of my honorable mentions might be on James's list, so I will save it.
Yeah, save it.
You're welcome.
My only honorable mention is parades. You know, like having kids, seeing the parades, and seeing like the level of production that goes into these
Right.
Disney parades.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for parades now. I'm like all in it, like in
Yeah,
front
you're
row.
we need
Like,
to get a
All
spot.
involved.
hey kids, get out of the way. Daddy's got to be front row. You know, I got to wave to Ariel.
Nice.
That's it though. That's all I got.
Okay, number 5.
Oh goodness gracious.
Push the button.
Number 5.
All right. So it's as we talked about, it's been super long time since I've been to Disneyland, and my least, I guess, favorite experience would have to be I had a little bit of an accident at Disneyland in the pants.
No.
Are you
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
we're
Were
doing
you a 2-year-old though?
No, I was
just wanna
like,
clarify.
I was
Okay.
like fresh out of diapers. You know what I mean? So I had a little bit of something
You
happen.
remember that?
And this was like one of my first memories of Disneyland. It was bad. I remember my dad. made
Wait,
me-
are we doing bad experiences?
well, no,
Wait,
not
no,
necessarily.
he's just
just
doing his
experience
lowest-
in general.
Oh.
But this is the least.
Okay,
the
I'm
least
sorry.
best.
Okay.
Wait, this is
'Cause
number
of the poopy
5, not,
pants.
not number 2.
Oh.
Number 2.
It should be number 2.
So what happened?
I basically had to turn my underwear inside out after my dad cleaned me up.
What does it matter inside
It's-
out?
Then you're just getting it on your.
Well, I was cleaned up though. Like it was bad. Like it was almost a nightmare type of
Okay.
experience. But I mean, I shouldn't even be sharing this.
They didn't want to just trash those pants.
I should have
those
just got
underpants.
rid of
They
them.
should have just bought you.
But I wasn't in
some-
control. Like, I had parents looking out for me. They're like, just turn your drawers inside out. You're fine. Let's go. So,
Apparently you weren't in
it's
control.
terrible. That's my, yeah.
I
So
just
that's my
love
number
the
5.
like. Just,
Oh my God.
Like why?
We need a picture of
It's
like
bad.
baby
why-
dills.
Like
Right.
why not just get rid of them?
The poopy pants of Disneyland.
Just go
Then the
commando.
poop is just like getting in a bunch of other areas.
Yeah, even if you clean it up, it's still on there, right?
Right, but I mean,
And now
at
it's
least you
getting
still
the
have some
inside of your
underwear.
pants.
The
But
other
what
side,
do you need them for?
there's a lot of corn dogs and cotton candy and Slurpees that happen.
Wait, did you keep riding the rides?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
no.
It was all bad, yeah.
Dude, he's little. He doesn't didn't care.
Right? I'm like, I'm not in control. I'm
His
5.
parents are like, dude, we spent hella money. We're going.
Right. It was bad. It was like a nightmare.
Oh, man.
So there's my number 5.
That is
Wow.
so funny.
I don't know if we're
Nothing
gonna
is
top
going to
this.
even...
I know, right?
5.
None of my stuff is even that great.
Wow.
That was his
Well, you
number
better
5.
try.
So, honestly, most of my experiences are going to be rides.
Yeah.
Because that's just kind of like what I like about Disneyland. So my number 5... So mine is just going to be like, Sheila's just called favorite rides. Okay?
All right.
So my number 5 is Peter Pan.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
So honestly,
Yeah.
though, Dilly, it's not even a joke.
that's
When every time I went to Disneyland, I just wanted to go on Peter Pan. I loved how my like when I was really little, I loved how my like shoelaces would glow.
Yes.
I loved how like the whole little city was small, and it was kind of like I was kind of a scaredy cat. You guys, I'm so sorry, my eyes are watering.
No, it looks like you're getting verklumped.
Kind of.
I don't know what's happening, but like
It's Peter Pan. It's doing it to you.
I think some
You're
makeup.
tearing up.
It's all your memories.
Right.
my
They're all
God.
flooding back.
I think
Okay.
some makeup got in my eye. But anyway, I love Peter Pan.
She
Go-
needs a moment.
Bird, go ahead.
No, I love all her happy thoughts. Make her cry
Number
instead of cry.
5.
Are you gonna do that every time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just
cool.
on the first round.
All right. So my number 5 is so when I go down to Disneyland, my family lives down there, and my cousin who I'm really close with, and her kids will meet us, and we go on it. And so I took my little cousin Tyler when he was, I believe, 7 on Star Tours the first time. And so I love taking people on rides the first time they've ever been on it.
Oh, that's cute.
Mostly on Tower of Terror.
That's
or
rude.
Guardians. I love taking people on that. Sheila, I didn't make you go on it when we
Oh
were
my
there.
God, it was so terrible.
But I love that ride. People typically come out of it loving it. So anyway, the Star Tours, I was kind of afraid that he was going to, you never know. I mean, I don't have kids. So I kind of never know if they're going to be scared or not when you take them on the first thing. And he loved it. And he was the spy. And if anyone knows Star Tours, do you know Star Tours?
Yeah.
They're always looking for a spy. They photograph somebody.
Always
oh,
a kid.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I'm never
so
the
That's
spy.
my favorite.
Okay, bitter.
It's always a kid.
Yeah, it's always a kid. So
Kids get everything.
yeah, so anyway, he was like, oh, okay, so what's this ride? And then we were like, you're the spot. Like, his picture was there. It was the most exciting. I'm sure for him, it's one of, memories of one of the best memories on the
That's
rides.
cool.
And for me, it was really fun to share. So it's far more sentimental than crap in your pants. But,
I had to.
but I love
Had to
it.
let you guys
My
know.
experiences are feelings at Disneyland. So, yeah, I love it. All right, James.
Mine's lame now. I ran a 5K.
Number 5.
I ran a 5K through
That's
Disneyland.
cool.
You've done that?
That's awesome.
Right when I was skinny, right?
fact
Back in the day.
The fact
Not-
that you can even run a 5K, I'm impressed.
I mean, I didn't run the whole thing. You got to stop and enjoy the.
It's more like a jog.
Yeah, it's a light jog.
jog.
I wanted
But
to
like-
do one of those.
A
Yeah,
jaunt.
Bird, let's do it.
It was a jaunt.
Maybe that's the ticket that gets us into a Hardly Heroes.
we all
We
wear-
Disneyland.
raise money. And
We
stuff,
all wear
yeah.
a Hardly Hero shirt. We raise money to donate.
Wish
to
upon a star.
Done.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
We-
just came
we just
together.
came in.
Perfect.
I did that with my stupid story. I did that. But yeah,
good job.
I just ran a 5K, and you got to see like behind the scenes, and it was kind of cool just to see what's happening back there. But there's a lot of garbage smell. But that's about it. But yeah,
Did you see characters and
stank.
stuff? Like, are there little stations?
it was
you can
early,
stop at?
so they weren't like just chilling next to the dumpster or anything like that. So
It's not making up there just smoking
Yeah,
outside
exactly.
the dumpster before they start the show.
doing some crack. Pluto's back there doing a bomb hit. I don't know.
Dumpster baby. All right.
Number 4.
Okay, so yeah, my number 4, and kind of like you said, Sheila, it's just about like, for me, it's about the rides that I was on. So number 4, the Matterhorn.
Oh.
Kind of like a bobsled thingy. You go up into that big ass
got the
mountain.
abominable
like,
snowman.
Yeah, all through it.
That's a good one.
You kind of go through like this dark tunnel, and you have the light at the end. So I definitely remember that being
Yeah.
one of my favorite rides.
The last, one of the last few times I went, Logan and I went on that ride, and towards the end, there's like a little puddle that you go through. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they just filled that pool up or something because I have never gotten so wet on that ride. I'm like, this isn't even a ride you get wet on. It was insane. I don't feel like I've gotten that wet before.
It's usually just kind of a sprinkle.
I mean,
or
they like
something.
just filled it up. It was
Right,
like
it
I
was
was
like
on
fresh.
Yeah.
They're like filled it up to the top.
Maybe somebody was like standing on the edge with their full cup of soda, like, I don't want this, and just hit you with it. You're like, oh my God,
tossed it.
I got
this
so
ride.
wet.
This ride is so crazy.
Okay.
Number 4.
So my number 4 actually is Splash Mountain, funny enough.
Oh.
The thing of it is with Splash Mountain is that I was always super scared to go on it because I'm like a heck of scared. Like, I wouldn't go on it for years. Like, you know, my family would go on it, my friends would go on it. I'd be like, no, it's
So you
too
like
scary.
held out. You wouldn't go on it.
You know, because it was way too scary. That drop, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not going. People are yelling and screaming on the way down. So anyway, once I finally did it, you know, loved it.
Let's do it.
And just so real quick, when Logan and I had that annual pass, I went to Disneyland like all by myself. I don't know if you guys have done that. Like I literally was by myself.
I have.
And I went on Splash Mountain like 3 times in a row.
Wow.
Because you can do like the single line, you know, the single rider. And it was just like amazing.
Childless millennials.
Oh, it was so good by yourself. It's like amazing.
Yeah, no, I've done it. I did Soarin' and they were like, we need one, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, back here, that's me.
Okay. Go
Okay,
for it.
my number 4. So my number 4, earlier this year was the first time I've ever gone when it was like torrential rain in Disneyland. There's like nobody
cool.
there.
Yes.
We bought ponchos, so like it's like everybody's wearing a poncho.
Yes.
So if you're like, I don't know how I feel about this poncho.
Yeah, but you're like everyone's doing it.
No shame in ponchos, man. Everybody's got them on. You can kind of slide across the ground a bit when you're in Fantasyland, and you kind of like stop caring. You just get used to being damp. You know, and it's just like, it's so much fun.
I wish you could plan that. I wish you could be
know,
like,
yeah.
I want to go on a rainy day.
And the crowds,
You can
like,
actually.
The crowds die down, but you're like jumping in puddles, and you're in Disneyland. It's all very like
That does sound fun.
childlike that you want, you know, like
That
it's
sounds
fun.
Yeah.
amazing.
I've been in
So-
Disneyland when it's raining. You're right. It's fun.
It's super fun. And you would think like, oh, I wouldn't want to go to a theme park when it's raining and stuff. But most of the rides are still on. I got pelted in the face riding Thunder Mountain. You're just like, oh, but you can't stop laughing. It's a really good time.
Well, just the fact of like the lines being cut down.
I
'cause
know.
There's not so many people there. That's what's up.
That's
right there.
legit. And the puddles.
Yes.
That is legit.
I love puddles.
Number 4.
My number 4 is when I don't remember when it was, but there was the fires in SoCal.
Yeah. 2007.
Like we were driving down.
How do you even remember that date so
I was
easily?
with him.
Yeah,
I was just
she was
looking
there.
up pictures.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we were driving down, and there was like fires coming over the mountains. Like, oh my god, we're passing Magic Mountain, and it's like almost on fire. We're like, we're not going to Magic Mountain. I don't care. Let it burn. We're going to Disneyland. So we go to Disneyland, but like all the smoke was hitting the park, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, smoke! My lungs! We're Californian." So the park was empty.
Yeah.
And
but
you
I had-
didn't care about your lungs?
No, we don't have kids. We didn't have kids then.
Yeah, no
I,
kids
we,
at the time.
I still don't. But I mean, we were all adults, and all the kids were gone, man. It was just like park to yourself. And
Exactly. It was just kind of like the rainy day thing, just
Oh,
running
okay.
around. You have the whole park to yourself.
Just hold your breath
It
from
was
one
awesome.
ride to the next.
I know. I was
Right.
going to say, but I feel like this is a little more dangerous than the rain, but whatever.
Magic
Number-
Mountain was in danger, not us.
All right. Jump the gun there.
Go ahead.
Number 3.
Number 3, Space Mountain for
Oh,
sure.
for showsy.
Yeah.
For showsy.
Yeah, gotta have that on the
Gotta
list.
have it in.
Gotta have it. It's been a while, but I remember being like, you're kind of in that line, and there's like a bunch of neon stuff, just being like super dark, and
Right.
you know, I loved it. That was probably one of my favorite rides.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Hit that up a few times.
Cool.
Number
Schmeesh.
3.
My number 3 is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
So,
Classic.
you know, I grew up, my grandparents lived like 2 miles from Disneyland. So I grew up going to Disneyland like constantly. We had an uncle that worked there. So we used to get in like super cheap. And we went like all the time. We went so much that we started being like, can we go like somewhere else? Can we go to like, what's that other one in
Like
Knott's Berry
Knott's Berry Farm.
Farm?
Right, yeah.
Or anything, but it's
Nice.
just funny to look back now. We were like so spoiled. But anyway, Pirates was like always one of my favorites when I was little. For some reason, I always remember like the dirty foot, you know, hanging over the side. That was always something I just always like looked for, you know.
That's funny.
And I kind of like whatever, like, you know, hated when they changed it actually, because I just, you know, grew up, you know, like it being so specific. And once they put Jack Sparrow in, I was like,
That foot's still there though.
the foot's
Yeah,
still
they got the
there,
foot.
and it also like has such a smell, like.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's like every once in a while, I don't know if this happens to you, but every once in a while I walk by like a parking garage or something, and you know sometimes the wind comes up like it because it's cool air, so it rushes out. It smells just like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's got
Oh,
that weird
that's
chlorinated but odd.
Yeah, but it's almost like damp, but cool. I don't know what it is, but every once in a while I get the smell and I'm like, pirates.
Is it like a stinking ass foot smell? Or
no.
No, it smells good in Pirates.
Okay.
It smells like chlorinated water, but it smells like dark and it smells
I
a
thought
little
it was like
damp.
gunpowder or something like that.
Smells
No?
like what?
Gunpowder? No.
Maybe that's mixed with chlorine. That's what it smells like.
I don't know,
I'm
but it
into
has a
it.
very specific smell.
Yeah,
I like
that's
it
cool.
too.
Number 3.
Okay, my number 3 is I went to Disneyland on my 30th birthday. Not on it.
Oh, last
for
year?
my 30th birthday.
Right.
Last year.
You're welcome.
I went with Sheila
Uh-huh.
and my friend Marie. I created a PowerPoint to invite my friends. That's how serious I was. It was sent to James. He did not attend.
He didn't accept the invite.
I have it still.
Rude.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Presentation.
I mean, it would convince you. I mean, you haven't been
It
in a
convinced
while.
me.
But
Wait, your number
I'd like
3
to
is
see
a
it.
PowerPoint?
No. My number 3 is that when we went that first night, for some odd, weird reason, somehow Sheila and Marie, they sold them like a 3-day ticket for cheaper than the 2-day ticket. And they got in that night we arrived, and we didn't plan on going.
Right.
But I was there to buy my annual pass for the first time, so I was in the park. That's where they used to do it at. And they got in, and it was dead that night. So we rode the teacups a ton of times, really fast.
Oh my God. I'm going to post that picture tonight.
I almost peed myself laughing. It was the best time I've ever had on the teacups, because you usually have kids or adults who are like, "Ew, I can't spin anymore because it's too much for me." But that time, I don't know why. Like, no, everyone was like, "Don't care, turn this thing as hard as possible."
Honestly, those teacup pictures, I'm going to post those tomorrow when we do our Hardly Heroes post, because those pictures are hilarious.
Yeah, they are. They took a
We're
lot
just
on
like
there.
3 grown women.
Yeah,
Spinning.
That's funny.
laughing.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
You're up.
Number 3.
All right, I'm gonna get it back to being a nerd. I don't.
Okay.
You guys are getting too nostalgic. So I go deep cuts nerd. So there's a thing called Star Wars Celebration. I don't know if it's kind of like the Comic-Con of Star Wars itself.
Right.
So I think it happens like every year or every other year. So they bounce back from East Coast to West Coast. So Star Wars Celebration was in Orlando 1 year, and I've gone 7 times. It's like so deep cuts and nerdy. So it was in Orlando 1 year, and it was the cool thing is they shut down whatever. I don't know what the exact park name is in Disney World.
Is it a Hollywood one? Hollywood
Is it?
Studios?
Yeah, it's Hollywood. In Disney World, they shut it down just for the people with Star Wars Celebration
yeah.
ticket holders.
Right.
So it was just all Star Wars
Right,
nerds,
yeah.
just taking over this like small little land, which was really
That's
cool. So
pretty
like
cool.
the lines are really short, and it had Star Tours, it had Aerosmith, it had Indiana Jones,
Oh,
like
yeah.
this kind of live action Indiana Jones show. So it's really shout out to Boca, who was there with me. Boca caught the sweats and he was hurting because we went on Aerosmith like 4 or 5 times in a row, and we were Orlando was like humid, so we were like dying, and so we were sitting in the Indiana Jones live action show, and he just was dripping sweat, like something is wrong, like, oh my God, are you gonna pass out? What's happening? Do I have to leave right now? Can you wait till the show's over before we escort you out of here? But that was fun. But then we went to the Star Tours ride, and so we were standing in line because all the Star Wars nerds were there in line waiting. We're all so happy to ride Star Tours together. Yay, nerds. And we were right by the sign, and then we were there, and then all of a sudden we feel like some people walk by us like real quick and on purpose. And I look, and nobody was there, but then I look down and I realize, oh, that's Warwick Davis, from the movie. He played Wicket.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
So and he was in Harry Potter.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So the little person was there. I'm like, oh my God, there he is. He's right next to me. But he was with his son, who was a little person as well. And they walked up to the sign that we were standing next to, and he's like, "See, son, you're not tall enough to be on the ride." And then they like stormed away. I'm like, did that just happen? Was I
Is that
standing
real?
next to Wicket? And his son couldn't ride the ride? Where's my iPhone that didn't exist
I know,
at
God.
the time? Anyway, that was my number 3.
That's pretty good.
Number 2.
All right, so my number 2, the Haunted Mansion.
Ooh.
One of the originals, I believe.
No, totally. That's a good one.
Yeah, the classic.
It's one of the ones you have to hit if you go.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it.
I mean, the mansion itself is super
cool,
cool.
yeah.
I kind of remember there being like like they kind of funnel you through like this room with some pictures in it that
Yeah.
like stretch and
Yeah.
just really fun. And then the hologram at the end is
Yeah.
just like the ghost is riding with you.
Yeah.
That one really sticks out in my
Yeah,
mind. So
that one's a good one.
that's definitely a number deuce. What about you?
Number 2.
So my number 2 is Screamin', California, which I know has changed to Incredicoaster.
Oh, okay.
So it's the roller coaster in California Adventure. So honestly, that's funny because I feel like both of you guys, like, I don't like roller coasters. Okay.
Me
And
neither.
so like one year for my birthday, I wanted to do something I was scared of. So we went to,
Oh my gosh.
What was
It's
that called?
Marine World Africa USA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Mammy calls it. We went to Marine World Africa USA, which is Six Flags now.
Yeah.
And we went on this ride called like Medusa. I still have that picture. I look like
great.
I'm literally dying. And everyone is like happy face, like, "Ah," and I'm like, just seriously couldn't even handle. Anyway, I hate roller coasters. So I was really like scared to go on Screamin'. But I was like, well, it's Disneyland. You know, like how scary can it be? And so I feel like it's at the upper areas of roller coaster that I think I can handle because it goes upside down, which is like terrifying. Anyway, I love that ride. When I went by myself, I actually went on that ride again, like 3 times back to back.
Ooh.
And that's just so to me, like whenever I ride that ride, I get off it like feeling really good about myself because I'm like, look at how brave you are. Like you went on a roller coaster.
Pat on the back.
I did it.
So that's my number 2.
Okay.
Number 2.
My number 2 is actually a ride also, which is Tower of Terror and Guardians Mission Breakout. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, whatever. When it was Tower of Terror, it was like my favorite ride. And then when they were transitioning over for, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, they would do at nighttime as they were taking off the signage and stuff like that. They would run the ride in complete darkness, so you wouldn't see any of the like Twilight Zone stuff. And
neat.
yeah, it almost I
That's
got
really cool.
legitimately scared at one point because one of the drops, it was like slow. It just felt like they did more with it
Oh,
because
God.
you didn't see anything.
I
and
hate
so
the drops.
I halfway thought, did this really break?
Oh,
And
God.
so that's a really cool memory. And then I love, again, taking people on who hate it. My cousin hates it. And I have talked her into going on a couple of times. And then I think it was 2018, I had her go on with just me. She didn't have her husband to hold on to. And so she was like flying off the seat. She screamed my name a million times. It got embarrassing to have someone screaming, April, April. And like, and the photograph is amazing because she's holding onto my arm. It's similar to the roller coaster for you. And then I turned it into an ornament for her for Christmas. So,
Bird,
Okay.
can I ask you a question real quick? Do you like it better as Tower of Terror or Guardians of the Galaxy?
so I thought I would hate Guardians of the Galaxy because I love Twilight Zone, but I love it how it is.
Okay,
They play
good.
Jackson 5
like
or
it.
Elvis when you're doing it.
Cool.
But I actually think I like the Halloween version the best. Real Rammstein fan. I don't know if that's
See,
really the
that's
song.
why I want to go. Like
Yeah,
next
it's
month.
amazing. Yeah.
Say I want to. Yeah, okay, we're going.
Take the twins on it.
Yep. Here we go.
Number 2.
So my number 2 is it's not a ride in either park, but it's something near and dear to my heart. It is fried chicken. For real. My number 2 is fried chicken.
At Disneyland
At
specifically?
Disneyland. Yes.
At
Is
the
there a-
Plaza Inn.
Holla. See?
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Plaza Inn fried chicken. It's so delicious. It's you get to eat outside. It's like right in the middle. So like you're a little elevated, so you can like see Main Street. You can see the castle.
Yeah.
Like there's a parade coming by. You can see that. It's so good. It's so delicious.
That's
I love
number
fried chicken.
1.
This is a fried
that's
chicken?
That's fried chicken.
Mm.
Yeah. So we were there. I forgot when, but not too long ago. And then my cousin's like, let's go get some fried chicken. I'm like, there's fried chicken in Disneyland? He's like, let's go. So he showed me Plaza Inn fried chicken. So shout out to RJ. He showed me the deliciousness that is the fried chicken at Plaza Inn. It's so good. Hashtag double mash, no green beans, because that is it.
That's legit. Fried chicken.
That's a
Heck
good
yeah.
one.
All right, so here it goes.
Number 1.
Number 1 is going to be the Jungle Cruise.
Ooh,
There you go.
I love the Jungle
a classic.
Cruise.
You got the hippos popping out. You're riding on
Oh,
the
yeah.
water. That was definitely my faves.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
show.
That was a good one.
Is that still? Is it
Oh,
still
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
definitely
Don't
still
dare
there.
take that away.
You know what I
Don't
like
you dare.
too of Jungle Cruise is like the person that's your, what's it called?
Guide.
Like a
Yeah,
guide,
like
tour
a
guide.
Yeah, he's like a aspiring stand-up comedian or something. He's like working in LA trying to get a job somewhere, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna be
It's his day job.
a guide at the Jungle Cruise because they're always like really funny. Anyway,
Number one. Your turn.
my number one is actually my all-time favorite ride at Disneyland is Space Mountain. I don't even really have anything like super specific connected to it. It's just that, growing up, going to Disneyland all the time, that was like before California Adventure, that was just the best ride. It was like it was fast. It was, twisty turny, and just the roller coaster in pure darkness is it's just always like a good time. So I love it. And I think like just, the line in, everything about it, even just having to wait, it's like fine.
I just remember it being like really dark in there.
Yeah, it's so dark.
Yeah.
Bird.
My number one.
Number one
Is that when Cars Land was opening, they did for annual pass holders that you could enter a raffle to get into the land early. And I entered and I won.
Ooh, cool.
Winner, fried chicken dinner.
There was a day, like you could sign up for these certain dates. They were doing it. They still had the gates around everywhere. And then you had a certain time you came. So arrived to get into the park. Kind of similar to how they did with Galaxy's Edge, but like you just won, and so it was like far less people in there. The gate was over by where you can buy clam chowder in
I love clam
Disney
chowder.
California. You wouldn't know it, but there was a whole fence there. You couldn't see anything, but you know how when you enter that side, there's the rock overhang.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so you couldn't see any of that walking up because of the fence. So they gave you your little wristband, and you walked up, and they opened the door, and you were like in Cars Land.
Oh man, in
So-
Cars Land, to see it like that for the first
Yes.
time must have been
Sounds
so
sick.
amazing because
Yeah.
Cars Land is
Yeah.
just legit.
Yeah, and when you walk up
Oh, I
from that
love
area,
Cars Land.
it's like, oh, that's cool. But when you see nothing, and they're just like, here, go through this door, and it's just like, oh,
Radiator
That's awesome.
Springs.
Yeah. So that's my number one.
That's legit. I like it.
Number one.
My number one is seeing Disneyland through my son's eyes. It sounds really sappy, but
Oh
it's
my
so
God. What
cool.
didn't he just give us crap for being nostalgic? And then he's like, "Oh no, I'm
Oh
deep
my
cuts,
God,
deep
it's-
cuts only, y'all."
Keep it hoard. Keep it hoard.
Keep it wart.
But like seeing Kimo like love Disneyland, he loves everything Disneyland, and like when he's there, like he doesn't complain about things. Like he doesn't complain about the heat, or even when there's like a downpour or rain, he didn't complain. He doesn't complain about the walking. He's just so in love with everything, like meeting the princesses and riding the rides and like spending time with like cousins he is just getting to know.
Yeah.
And it's like holding their hands and running around. Oh, it's so amazing just watching him do it. So I just love watching him enjoy it. So
That's really cool.
super sappy dad.
Sappers, way to really bring
All right,
it.
let's keep moving. We're all sappy over
going.
here. Are we gonna jump into top fives? How are we
Okay,
gonna do this?
so we're moving on to our next top 5, which is top 5 Disney movies.
Let's power through this.
Yeah. Do you want us to just list each of us do our five?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
just go.
Yeah.
Let's
All
roll
right,
through 'em.
Dill. Let's see what you got. Non-Disney.
All right.
fans.
So this one was tough for me, but number 5, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm down with Winnie the Pooh.
I love
Oh my God,
Winnie the
I love
Pooh.
Not Peter Pan.
And that's also sweet.
But I like Pooh Bear.
It's like sweet that you like Pooh
Yeah, I
Bear.
like Pooh Bear.
Why are your number fives your number ones, Dill? Like,
Oh, no. I got
Swap
issues.
'em.
All right, number 4, Sheboygan Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I
Oh,
like
Wreck-It
him.
Ralph is so good.
That's a good one. Number 3, Monsters Inc.
Yep.
My number 2 was Up.
Ooh,
I
Up is
enjoyed that.
Oh, Up is so good.
And me being the big Tom Hanks fan that I
Of
am,
course. What is it?
got to go with my number 1 being the Toy Story movies. Probably
Solid.
number 3 and 4 probably
your
my
favorite?
faves, yeah.
that's
So
fine.
there's that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Are those the only two you've seen?
No, I saw them all.
Okay, just
Yeah,
making sure.
he just watched them
watched
in a
them all.
weird order.
Yeah, it was like I saw 1, then 4, then 2, then 3.
I agree on 3. I love 3.
Yeah, do you the best one you think?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so mine are like more nostalgic because it's like, what I grew up watching, what I really loved, even though like the newer ones are good too, but so my number 5 is Lion King. Love it, straight up. I love baby kitty cats. Number 4 is Aladdin. I love Aladdin. I'm like not interested in the new live action, just like the straight up Aladdin. Love it.
The classic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 3 is Jungle Book.
Oh yeah.
Mainly because I My brothers, a lot of my family members, they still to this day call me Mowgli because I really looked like Mowgli when I was little. Like I was super skinny and brown, and I had that haircut. It was like my mom gave me like a straight up bowl cut, and I had super straight like black, almost black hair, and I looked like a little boy. I was like super just skinny and. So I always loved Jungle Book. I was really like connected with him, and I always loved all the animals and stuff. So number 2 is all the Toy Stories. Can I say that? All the Toy Stories. Like I love every single one. I will never get tired of it. It's one of the best movies ever.
But like, do you have a favorite in the series?
Well, my favorite is probably number 1 because you get to like learn the whole. I feel like the number ones of anything are always my favorite because I love learning the story.
Okay.
And then number 3 is my next favorite. Anyway, James is looking at me like, move on. I feel like I'm talking really fast because he's like stressing me out. I feel like I'm
you feel the deep stare.
It's because I'm coming for your first mic. I'm standing up here in the Triple HQ.
I wish people could be in here. He's standing up. He's like looking over. And he's in Buddy's chair.
Yeah,
he's standing behind Buddy's chair.
I feel it.
I really am stressed out. You're making me sweat. He's snapping.
Chop, chop.
Sweat.
Chop, chop.
So my number 1, this is, I'm going to pull a James and shout out to somebody. Shout out to my sister.
Okay.
I've been counting your shout outs, by the way. I'm going to announce that at the end of the show. Shout out to my sister. Little Mermaid is my number 1 all-time fave. We honestly, so back in the day, the cassette tapes, what are they called? VHS. So we used to go to my grandma's, and she had to like buy us a new VHS because we like wore it out because we watched Little Mermaid so much.
Aww.
And if you like call my sister up right now and say like start reciting Little Mermaid, she will like start from the beginning and she won't stop. Like she knows the entire movie, like front to back, every single word. And also we like get on conference calls with Buddy's wife and we sing Little Mermaid songs. So
look at this stuff.
So it's like Hardly Heroes, Little Maid the musical.
Wouldn't you think my collection's complete?
Sorry. Sorry, James.
Anyway, number 1, Little Mermaid all day.
Okay. Me. Can I do honorable mentions? I know you guys didn't do
Sure.
Little Mermaid is in my honorable mentions.
It only made it honorable.
I had a really hard time not putting it in my 5.
It's okay.
And so is The Lion King, so you covered those 2. My number 5 is Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that one. I love Maleficent. I love the fairies. She's my favorite princess. My number 4 is Sword in the Stone.
Good call.
I love Wart. I love Archimedes. And I still cry with that squirrel thing when he has to leave that girl squirrel and she's like, you're a human. It's so hard for me. Number 3 is Brave. Say it, James.
Oh, because you're a redhead.
You want me to talk like this?
Yeah.
Is it because you're a redhead?
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk like Merida if you like.
I love that one. I love at the end.
Brave is so good.
It's her and her mom. It's not like and I love that it's in Scotland and she got this red hair. She's fiery. My number 2 is Oliver and Company. It was like my first movie I saw in the theaters. The soundtrack is Huey Lewis and Billy Joel and like Bette Midler. Like it's a great soundtrack.
The heart of rock and roll is still beating.
And so it's like the last movie before the renaissance of starting with Little Mermaid. It's like 88. Little Mermaid came next year.
Oh, okay.
So it just had a big impact on me.
Right.
And my number 1 is Beauty and the Beast.
Belle.
Because I love that she reads.
Oh yeah, you totally.
She was the first one that was like a reader, and I was like, she's
like a
just
dork.
Like me. And when I used to pretend I could sing like her when the intro of that song, when it's like bonjour, bonjour. I mean, I can't get over it. I love it so much. That song will just pop in my head randomly. So that's my favorite one.
Nice,
James.
My honorables are Star Wars, of course, because I'm a big Star Wars nerd. Any of them that are on Disney. But I do like the Tridge, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Coco, I really enjoy Coco.
Oh yeah, Coco's good.
And Descendants is an honorable mention. Look at you guys. Look at you confused, have no idea what that is.
It's on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, so it's like a musical-ish of like the villain's children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's really interesting. So yeah, that's a really good show.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's fun. The new one comes out tomorrow.
All
right. Deep cut nerd knowledge.
He always thinks he's so deep cut.
Right? I know. It's
He
totally
really
not
likes
deep
to
cut.
brag about
Yeah.
his deep
Yeah.
cuts.
A lot of deep
It was.
cuts.
I saw a commercial for it.
You should have done that count instead.
Right.
I know, right? Deep cuts.
Number 5 is Avengers of Infinity War because it was such a good movie.
This is such a boy list.
Number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh God.
Number
so
three.
is this top 5 Marvel movies that you like?
Number 3 is Moana.
All right,
Okay,
there
cool.
we go.
There we go.
Moana.
That's a good
You're
one.
welcome.
Number 2 is Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah, that's a great
So
one.
fun fact about that. So I think, Bird, when we were in the park together, there was a Stitch, like somebody in costume, a Stitch, and I took a picture with Stitch, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go online and start trying to date. And that was like my profile picture.
No!
And Jenny's like, ooh, look at this
I
guy.
like this guy.
I like Stitch.
Stitch.
And that's what got me a wife.
Wow.
Right?
And 3 babies.
Okay.
That's
Shout
so
out to Stitch.
cute.
Mark that down. Shout out to Stitch. And then number 1 is Toy Story 2
Ooh.
because I really enjoyed the backstory of Woody.
Right?
I thought it was really
yeah,
cool.
no, you totally.
So yeah,
You
there
get
you
to
go.
see all the toys that were like made after him and all that.
I
good
do love
stuff.
that. I
Exactly.
do love
No,
Bullseye.
and him kind of like discovering his.
Yeah.
His roots.
And like,
yeah.
what happened to my show? What happened? And he's like,
The
the
prospector
space race
and-
happened.
Yeah.
Oh, just like him. And
Yep. No, you're
And
totally right. That's very
Buzz.
cool.
that's what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on.
Okay, so let's see. What do we got next here?
Monster.
We have
amount of.
we have an insane, you guys.
Sidekick Mail.
So I just want to say real quick, this is the first time, I meant to mention this earlier, this is the first time in HH history that we've had 2 top 5s. And
Double
I
stuff.
feel double stuff. And I feel like this could be probably a record of Sidekick Mail also.
I'm thinking so. I've
This
never
is an
seen
insane
this,
amount of mail.
This much mail.
I think mainly it's because James called all of his family members and said, "Hey, can you write in some Sidekick Mail?"
Shout out to the Parmalees.
Yeah.
But I think that also goes to say, like, it's not all my families and cousins. We got a lot of mail from a lot of people.
No,
so,
we did.
So let's run through them.
Your family just put us over. That was the.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're all Disney fans, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna have a Disney centric episode. Double stuff, yo.
So do you want me? This
Kick
is
this
not
off.
that your mail is not great. I'm just gonna go fast though. To
Yeah,
do it.
fast.
So this is from Curtis Corona.
Ooh,
who-
shout out.
Yeah.
Kurtz.
who works down in LA, has been on the show. He's a villain. He's part of my group from the tavern when that existed.
Yeah. Well,
So his honorable mentions are Sword in the Stone, good choice.
good one.
Big Hero 6.
I love Big Hero 6.
Up and The Incredibles are honorable
Yes.
mentions. His 5 is Alice in Wonderland. His
There you
4
go.
is Aladdin. 3 is Dumbo. 2 is Lion King, and 1 is Little Mermaid, which is shocking.
Curtis!
Wow.
I know.
Worms?
For one, I love that, and 2, we're like besties now
I
because
know.
that's my number 1.
I told James his outer exterior is like a bit of an asshole, but like his inner exterior is
Whoa, hey.
loving and
Hey.
great. Loving and great. And then he also he's working on new Netflix shows, and he's going to work for Fox.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he starts in a few weeks on a new Ryan Reynolds movie.
Oh,
Ooh.
just like he just drops that. Oh,
No
this
big
is what
deal.
no,
I'm doing.
he's like
Yeah.
BT Dub.
No
Yeah,
bigs.
No bigs.
No bigs.
He's all,
It's just
living
Ryan
a better
Reynolds,
life than
duh.
us. Yeah. I'm just kidding. All right, and that's it.
All right. My first Parmalee on the list. Parmalee! We have Jeff Parmalee. Shout out to Jeff. He gave me his top 5 movies, and they're all animated. So he said Aladdin, Big Hero 6, Wreck-It Ralph, Tangled, and Toy Story 2. I had
That's a good list,
Yeah,
actually.
that's a good
Tangled,
list.
Coming up
related.
big on this one.
Tangled, I have a little bit
Tangled.
of a question mark on that one, but fine.
Tangled is good.
That's fine,
How dare
Jeff.
you? How dare you?
How dare you?
All right, let's keep moving. Who's next on the list?
Wait, you have...
Wait, you
Oh,
still have the
sorry.
other
Come on,
half.
Jeff has more.
Oh, sorry, Jeff.
Jeffrey.
Run it.
He gave me top 5 Marvel movies, so he also mentioned Winter Soldier and Thor Ragnarok as honorable mentions, but
Which is crazy.
his faves are Logan, shout out to Curtis, he worked on it,
Yeah.
Avengers, Deadpool 2, Infinity War, and Iron Man.
Ooh, that's
How
a
is
good
Winter
list.
Soldier an honorable mention? Crazy.
I know. I actually agree with that. Winter Soldier definitely making the top 5 for me.
James, you're the next one too.
Oh, I'm the next one? Okay.
You're on the Parm train.
Pizzo. Sidekick Island Mail. So Hardly Heroes is going global. This is the first email from somebody out of the Pacific Ocean.
Ooh, cool.
So
Okay.
shout out to Hazel and Todd, my cousins out in Hawaii. So she says, I'm going to butcher this. Aloha kakaiaka. Finishing up listening to it now. Fun stuff on the last podcast. I'm a huge Ralph as Superman
Okay.
fan. Secret, I have the actual movie poster of Superman Returns in the back of my closet. Secret. But loving Cavill as Superman. Oh my God. I can't wait for The Witcher. Planning to read the books after I finish Game of Thrones.
She's not finished yet?
I know, right?
I think she means the books.
Maybe they get... It's Hawaii. Maybe they get it late. And yeah, kind of skeptical about Natalie Portman.
God, Bird, have we talked about that?
Was hoping Lady Sif would take the mantle, but then again, I am one of the few that actually like the Green Lantern movie, so what do I know? Superman is my favorite character. I loved him from the Christopher Reeves point on. Wasn't thrilled that Nick Cage was cast as Superman. Glad that never happened. So top 5 Disney... Let's see. Little Mermaid.
Yep.
Is there actually... Oh, I'm going in the wrong order. But let me go through. Little Mermaid is at the top. She's not a redhead, but she's totally feels the oppressed by my father. So shout out to my Uncle Frankie, Uncle Kiko. Beauty and the Beast. Hello. All things...
Francis is parfait.
What?
It's French is perfect.
There you go. And like the masses, I prefer the Beast over Prince Adam. Yes, even in the live-action movie. Number 3 is Aladdin because Robin Williams.
Deaf because of Robin Williams.
Yeah, I agree. Can't bring myself to watch the live-action
Seriously,
version yet. I know,
come on,
right?
it's the worst. Will Smith, get it together, people.
Number 4, Toy Story, the first one, as always, the best one.
There you go.
And then number 5 is Moana.
That makes sense.
Of course.
Yeah, close to home, close to heart. And fun
Rock.
fact, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was her classmate.
Oh my God,
Rock.
Hazel.
in
Can
high
we
school.
get him on the show?
Do you have any pictures?
I can ask her for pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen pictures, but yes.
And would
That's
he like to
pretty
come on the
cool.
show? And can I come on the show that same day?
I know, right? I'm sure you can. Okay.
You're up.
Shmee's up. Okay, this
Shmeezies.
email is from Mammy. Even as an adult, I strive to always be a child at heart who loves fairies, princesses, and saying dreams can come true if... Sorry, I messed it up. Dreams can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart.
She's so adorable.
I know, she's so cute. So to pick a favorite Disney movie, impossible, I say. My top picks in alphabetical order, which is a hilarious order.
Why alphabetical?
I don't know. That's just how Mammy does it. Are Cinderella, Jungle Book, Lady and the Tramp. Ooh, Lady and the Tramp. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Little Mermaid, and last but not least, Peter Pan. Memories. Disneyland started to be built the year I was born and was less than 3 miles away from my home. Lucky me. From my bedroom window every evening, I could see Tinkerbell spotlighted by a bright light flying through the air with a sprinkling of fairy dust on her wings
Nice.
right before the fireworks. It was magical
That's
to
cool.
see her fly, and I still have a small container of fairy dust in my top drawer.
She's so cute.
You really could see the fireworks like from my grandparents' house. As for you, Dilly,
Uh-oh, here it goes.
and all others who hate Peter Pan, shame on you.
I never said hate.
Shame.
As a child, I loved Peter Pan, the Peter Pan ride flying over the city streets of London on Never Never Land, with fairy dust sprinkled on the magical pirate ship. Second only to that was being able to take each of my children on their very first Peter Pan ride and see the excitement on their faces as they took the same journey as I had done as a child.
Mammy
To
needs to
Never
take Dilly.
Neverland. It still reminds my favorite childhood ride today. I think Mammy should take Dilly.
Right?
I'll be in the corner.
When we do the big group, they go on together.
Yep.
You know what? For Mammy, I would.
You would do
that.
it for Mammy.
Absolutely.
My Uncle Len actually worked at Disneyland for over 25 years. I totally remember that because that's what we used to go all the time because he worked there. He was a senior electrician when the Matterhorn ride stopped working. His staff could not fix the problem on the ground. My Uncle Len had to rope climb inside the Matterhorn mountain near the top to fix the problem. Of course, timeline to get the ride back open added extra pressure. He said it was a very scary thing he had to do. In closing, I would like to say Disneyland for the young and old is a magical trip to the dreams that color our childhood lives with hope, joy, and laughter.
Oh my
Signed,
God.
Mammy.
Mammy.
Mammers.
Thanks, Mammy. I love you.
Aw.
All right, so we got a little something from Dean Coronado.
Oh,
Ooh,
shout out,
Dean.
Parmalee.
What up,
What's up with-
Dean?
Is this a parm too?
More
It's a
parm?
parm
Is
too.
this
More
part
parm.
of the
Is this a
Parma
stealth
cheese?
parm?
Oh my
Dean
gosh.
Coronado. All right, top 5 Disney films, not including other studios except Pixar. All right, so number 5, we have Lilo and Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
Number
Solid.
4, Shaboy Wall-E.
Wow.
Wally, I
Who
fucking
hasn't been
love
mentioned yet.
Wally. It
Yeah.
hasn't.
Good
Yeah,
call on
that's a
that.
good one.
Number 3, Moana.
Yeah,
Number 2, Up.
I love it.
And number un is Ratatouille.
What? Number
So,
one?
Wow. That's
You
a
know what?
surprise.
That Ratatouille is a great movie, but for
Mm-hmm.
it to be your number one, I would really love, like, I want an explanation on that.
Exactly.
I want to know why that's your number one.
Yeah.
All right, Dean, you have to let us know why.
Come on, Dean.
Dean.
All right, so Dean's top 5 park experiences. Number 5, You Got Me. The Matterhorn and Space Mountain is all I care for.
That's it. That's the top 5.
Some memories about Disneyland. Great America had better rides. The Demon. What?
Wow.
Wow.
The Demon. Yeah,
Sending
that was
shots.
Wow,
nice.
Dean.
Shots fired
Shots
from
across
Dean.
the bow.
Okay, cool.
All right, so next up on the Sidekick Mail, we have Johnny, a.k.a.
Johnny.
the Norwegian Titan.
What's up, Winnie?
Hello, my good friends. It has been a while since I last wrote. I have been vacationing in France.
France?
Traveled back and forward in World War II history and saw some amazing places.
Nice.
Been watching a lot of series and stuff. Got some recommendations for you. Number 1, Night Flyers, from the writer of Game of Thrones. Oh my God, what a cool series. Sci-fi and in space action thriller.
Cool.
All right,
Check
sounds
it.
cool. Number 2 is Dead to Me. Funny and smart series with Christina Applegate in a leading role. Fantastic. Must see if you like comedy. I have
Yes,
seen this.
it's
My
good.
wife
Heard
loves
it.
it. It is actually
It's
a
pretty
pretty
funny,
good show.
right?
It is
It's dark
good.
comedy.
Like the plot is.
Yeah. It's pretty
I
twisted.
usually don't like the shows that
Kinda
she's
twisted,
watching,
yeah.
but this one actually kind of pulled me and
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. Number 3, Another Life. Sci-fi action horror starts off slow, but it gets real good as you venture through every episode. One of the best actually to come from Netflix this year. So that's Another Life. Number 4, we have The Mist, Stephen King series, of course. Wow is all I can say. I like the first 2 episodes and can't wait to finish. Number 5, Black Summer, horror zombie. I'm not sure about the show yet. I think I might like it after giving it a little bit more time. I love The Walking Dead, so this would grow on me. I haven't seen that yet, but a lot of people,
Are they talking about it?
yeah,
I would
people
check it out.
Are down with that.
Yeah, I would
Black
check it out.
Summer. Number 6, Wolf Blood. This is actually a cool take on the whole werewolf thing. I'd especially recommend checking this out. All right, Wolf Blood.
Thanks.
I'll go.
I like how you
I'm
say
into,
wolf.
Woof.
Wolf. Wolf.
Wolf. Yeah, he says it like that. Wolf.
All right. Got some movies to recommend too, but I'll save those for another time. Keep up the great work, Sheila and Dillard.
Whoop, whoop.
You guys are doing great without the Mad King. He is missed, but it's fun when he's not always on the throne, and you can kick out some. Kick him out sometimes. Sorry about that, guys. You know we love you, buddy, but come back in one piece. Well, that's all I have for now. Love the show. Keep up the good work and can't wait to hear the next show. Have a great week, and I hope you all are well. Big shout out to every sidekick and hero that follows the show and all heroes who have come and gone. Great cheers and salutes from Norway. Signed, your friend Johnny, a.k.a. the Norwegian Titan.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks for all those
Thanks.
recommendations. I'm going to check those
that was
out.
awesome. Good
Yeah.
list.
But isn't like Netflix different in other countries than in America?
No,
I don't think so.
Well, yeah, some shows are different. Like some aren't available depending on.
depending on where
it is,
you
yeah.
are, yeah.
Yeah,
In
like
the, in the
world.
world.
yeah, like Teen Titans on the DC universe isn't available on Netflix here, but it's available on
Right.
Netflix in other countries.
Okay, right.
Okay, so the next letter is Philippe, and he comes back to the Disney stuff.
Okay, cool.
He says, all right, everybody, I could not do a double Disney top 5. You guys might not know this about me, but I pretty much nerdgasm over everything, including Disney. So here are my top 5s with minimal explanation because, well, very long emails. Top 5 movies, The Great Mouse Detective, which I personally think is cool that he has on here. So be honest, how many of you forgot about Sherlock Holmes in mouse form?
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, good
Basil.
point.
That's a good one.
Number 4 is Peter Pan.
What?
How many times has Peter Pan
Eye
come
roll.
up in the show?
Eye rolls.
because of all the wonder of fighting pirates and never growing up was magic to me. Number 3 is Snow White, which is really surprising. First one. First movie. This was just a movie that I loved for the dwarves, but even more growing and learning all of the milestones this movie made just made me appreciate it much more. Number 2 is Beauty and the Beast.
Love it.
The Beast was my hero for being a big, dumb, jerky monster that turns into a lovable oaf, and the horse is named after me. So there's... Oh, I didn't even think of that. There's that.
Oh, that's funny.
Plus, Gaston is the best villain and has the best song.
Yeah, I actually really love Gaston.
Yeah, I do too. And fight me. So number 1 is Lion King.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite Disney movie of all time, especially so much love for storytelling and Shakespearean drama again. Scar is my favorite character and has the best song. I said
Why
it.
is he always like hella loving on the villains?
And the songs. It's all about him and the songs.
Yeah. Also, I like that he knows it's Shakespearean. It's Hamlet.
Oh.
I didn't know about that until you just said
wow. Anyway, top 5 park experiences. Halloween, Mickey's Halloween party. I cosplayed as hipster Mickey.
Wait, these are honorable mentions. by
Oh
the way.
crap! Sorry.
No, it's okay.
it. Son of a...
That's fine. It's
Stop the
okay.
recording. Start it over.
Start over. Thank you. Sorry about that. It's honorable mentions. I cosplayed as hipster Mickey and got a
I
trick
love
or
hipster
treat.
Mickey.
Yeah, in the park amongst screaming 5-year-olds. I fit in perfectly. His other honorable mention is the Golden Horseshoe improv show. As a kid, I remember attending a show with 5 fiddle playing brothers named Billy, and more recently I had a part of a show where they pulled me on stage. I stumped them by playing my part on stage and riffing with them. Fun times.
That's cool.
I've seen that show. It's cute. Number 5, his actual number 5, Blue Bayou. So it takes months to get a reservation, but honestly worth it.
Totally.
The food was great while sitting above the Pirates ride, messing with passengers because, well, I'm a jerk.
Don't mess with passengers.
I know.
That's rude.
You think it's more for the ambiance, not for that. Wow.
Come on, Phil.
Disneyland's signature snacks. We went during Halloween, so there were all kinds of seasonal snacks in the park, and they were all mind-blowing. Word of advice, look up the Black Rose at Red Tavern. You will thank me later.
I don't know what that is.
It's
I feel
a new
like I need
dessert.
to find
It's
that
good.
out.
The
now.
Red Rose Tavern.
Red Rose
Black
Tavern.
Rose.
It took over for the Pinocchio
Oh, okay.
thing that used to be back there. It's good. Haunted park tour. Got a haunted tour, took pictures with mansion ghosts, and got a private tour of the haunted mansion. Worth every expensive penny I paid. That's super
That
cool.
sounds
I didn't even
pretty
know you
awesome.
could do that.
Right? He's got
He's got some deep cuts.
deep
Oh,
cuts.
real deep,
Shout out
yes.
to Philippe.
I think he's got deeper cuts than you.
the deep. He's got the deepest.
So drawing at Disneyland, California, there are on the hour classes on how to draw your favorite Disney characters. It made me feel like a kid drawing in my bedroom again. It was amazing. And number 1 is Star Tours. Of course, this would be my number 1, but the new experience with over 1,000 combinations makes this a different experience every time you ride it now. Easily my favorite thing at Disneyland since my childhood. Till next week. White Ranger out. I agree with him on that. I like all the new changes to Star Tours.
That's solid. I got the next
There's
one.
a lot of yes, go.
Yep.
So shout out Parmalee's in the house. This one's from one of the little
Parmesan?
Parmalee's. One of the little kicks. One
This
of the
is
little
a little
sidekicks.
cheese, a little,
Little kick.
a little Parmesan.
So this is my nephew,
Just a dash of
8-year-old
Parmesan.
JJ. Shout out to him.
Just a sprinkle.
What's up, JJ?
God, I love that little kid. He's so fun. So his top 5 Disney experiences. Number 5, Cars Land and
Yes.
the Radiator Springs ride.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah, the little ride.
No, that's
Or
the
the
main
The car,
one.
the
The main one. Yeah, that
the
one's
main
scary.
one. Number 4, Pirates of the Caribbean. Number 3, Disney parades. Parmalee's love the parades. There we go.
Ooh.
Number 2, the DCA Ferris wheel. And his
Ooh, I hate
number
that.
his number
No,
1
that's
experience.
too tall. That's too tall.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like it? Oh, okay. Well, apparently an 8-year-old can handle it, so step your game up.
He doesn't know life yet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe he does, because his number 1 favorite Disney experience is eating cotton candy.
Oh dang,
Damn.
JJ, that's
He's
pretty
about
good.
it.
That's solid.
Wait, Bird, have you ever been in California Adventures the swings?
Yeah, I love the swings.
Oh no, that's too scary.
Oh, jeez.
I just picture myself like flying off.
Is that like the
It's
like
like
the
at the
state
fair.
fair
Mhm.
swings? Okay, those are big, very
But it's up on a platform, so
Intermediate.
you are higher up.
okay.
Dilly, we're gonna do an audio.
Oh,
Is that queued up or hey, surprise?
no, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, shout out to Corey from the No Midnight Crew from the Theme Park Pulse podcast.
Yep.
And he's a local celeb here in the area, so we
Very
got
cool.
celebs.
We're coming up.
Yeah.
He's got a really cool Disney-centric podcast. All the guys are great. All the information is super good. So,
And
this
what's
is
the podcast called?
Theme Park Pulse?
Theme Park Pulse. That's
And
right.
he also has a
Go check
kind of
it out.
a documentary Unpacked podcast that's really good too.
Oh, that's
I like
cool.
that.
Yeah, see? Really good.
All right, let's get into it.
Hey friends, it's Corey from Theme Park Pulse and the Unpacked podcast with my top 5 Disney parks experiences. Number 5, doing the sunset safaris at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, you don't just do the safari. You stop by right there in Harambe and you grab a dark rum Dole Whip, right? You drink that in the queue. Hop on, enjoy the sunset. The animals are more active at sunset. Cannot recommend this experience enough. Number 4, jumping over to the West Coast for Trader Sam's at the Disneyland Hotel. Yes, you've probably been to the one at Walt Disney World, and it's cool, but the original is small, it's quirky, has a great little patio. It's kind of fun. You should definitely check that out next time you're in Anaheim. Speaking of food and beverage, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival is my number 3. You can't go wrong with it. Do I even need to say anything else? The one at Disney California Adventure is pretty cool, but you can't beat Epcot's. Even outside of the festival, though, Epcot is great for food and beverage. Drinking around the world is a thing. Highly recommend. At number 2, next time you're at Disneyland, take a tour. Stop by the little tour garden. It's on your left just as you enter Town Square, and see if you can get on the Walk in Walt's Disneyland Footsteps tour. It's a cool tour that kind of takes you through a little bit of Walt, his vision for Disneyland, some of the personal touches that Walt put on the park that are still there today. You get backdoored into a couple of attractions. You get a lunch included. And as of when my Unpacked co-host Adam and I took the tour, you get to go into Walt's apartment above the fire station.
Nice.
Really cool to be that close to a piece of Disney history. The Walk in Walt's Disneyland Footsteps tour at Disneyland. Do it. And at number 1, I get a lot of heat for this, but it's my favorite thing to do in any Disney park anywhere, and that is to ride the People Mover at the Magic Kingdom. It's the perfect length of an attraction to get off your feet, maybe spend some time snuggling up with your significant other. Just relax, enjoy the scenery, and let Disney drive. It's especially nice at night, or if you can get on the People Mover during Happily Ever After at the Magic Kingdom. Pro tip. I'm Corey from Theme Park Pulse and Unpacked. You can find all of our stuff at themeparkpulse.com or unpackedpodcast.com, or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Wow.
That's cool. I
Thanks,
want
Corey.
the safari thing a lot.
Right?
That sounds so
Wait,
neat.
I want to walk in the footsteps.
We can do that here. That should
Yeah.
be part of our
A lot
group.
of good tips
We'll
right
put
there.
our,
That was
Yeah,
that
I
was
need
key.
to save that voice note so then I can go back and like check off like the cool things that he
Yeah.
said.
Those were so unexpected.
And they're you know what? Those are the deepest of cuts.
Yeah,
Deepest of
he
deep
could
cuts.
have said
Deep,
deep
deep.
cuts and been legit.
But
with
Yeah,
it.
he's super deep.
Like
cuts.
he would have actually been cutting it deep.
He talked
Yeah,
about like a rum drink at sunrise.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I'm
he
about
was giving
that.
us like literally everything.
He made the experiences. Like,
Yeah, he
this
really
is how you
did.
set it up for yourself.
Yeah, this guy knows how to do it.
God, he's good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Corey. Shout out.
Seriously, thank you so much for sending that in.
He's not a Parmley, but shout out.
Oh God,
I
you
got it.
said
I got
twice,
it. You got the
twice.
next one. I got the
Okay.
next one.
Okay, so the next one I have, this is a new sidekick, Greg. So went to Disneyland in February 2001 for a competition my sister was in, and the plan was to take advantage of what we thought was a very crowded California Adventure grand opening weekend and a dead Disneyland park. It was the complete opposite. Disneyland was packed, and there was barely anyone at Disney California Adventure. I was able to go on the good rides on many occasions due to short lines. That's amazing.
That's cool.
Haven't been back there since. Can't wait to take Ryan, my son, someday and see all the changes. Tough choices, but mine are more modern. Here's my top 5 movies. Big Hero 6, yes, great one. Wreck-It Ralph, totally.
Yeah.
Toy Story, DuckTales, the movie?
What?
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
good.
That's really good. And his number 1 is Finding Nemo.
That is a good
Nobody's
movie.
mentioned that.
Finding
I
Nemo
know,
is
that's
so good.
Nobody else mentioned Nemo
It's
either.
not, and you know what I just love about it is like who plays his dad, the voice? Can you
Mel
guys?
Brooks.
Oh, Mel, yeah.
Is it Mel Brooks? Oh my God, his dad is just so funny. I'm like
Yeah.
so in love with his dad in that movie.
Mel Brooks or Albert Brooks?
That's Albert. Thank
sorry.
you. I thought it started
That's
with an A.
okay. Thank you. I really was like, I
was
really
off.
don't
My
think
bad.
it's Mel Brooks.
We agreed with you, but
Yeah.
we shouldn't have.
Because I sounded
Yeah.
like confident.
You were like, I know this.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's why I was like, I felt a little confused because I'm like, and then I was like, anyway.
All right, this is our final. Is this a parm?
It's the final.
This is the last Sidekick Mail.
Is this another Parmesan
and
cheese?
it is a parm. We got a big family.
Ow!
Those Filipinos representing. So this is from Shayna, cousin Shayna. Let's see. Let's start out with her Disney tip. She said, I would definitely recommend using the app and getting the Max Pass Plus.
100%.
You can definitely maximize your time instead of running around the parks trying to find fast passes for the rides you want.
Save your feet. Sorry.
Save your feet.
That should be how they do it.
Her top 5 is very interesting.
Oh.
Number 5 is Lizzie McGuire, the
Okay,
movie.
you can't just glaze over that.
That's a choice.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a choice.
We need way more explanation on
That
that.
was a Disney movie?
I don't even
know. It
know.
was a Disney show, and it must have been a movie too, right?
I just need to know how it made it into the top.
Yeah,
Please. Can you please write us in and let us know?
Please. Number 4 is Aladdin.
Of course.
Number 3, The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
That's different.
That's good.
Yeah. Number 2 is Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
It's kind of Pocahontas goes underrated.
It is underrated, and it's super good.
Way to bring that out at the end.
Number 1 is Up.
Of course.
Yes.
Up is great.
Up's great.
So Disney experiences. Number 5, just being able to be a pass holder as an adult, a childless millennial. Every trip is different. I don't always do the same things. I don't always go on the rides. Sometimes we pin trade, which is the best way to meet new people and see what their collections are like. Sometimes we just eat, probably fried chicken. The Pixar parfait is my favorite treat.
Ooh.
But as cliche as it sounds, my favorite memories are when I get to be in the parks with my fam.
Oh.
When family comes from out of town, I'm able to meet up with them in the parks, and it's honestly extra magical.
Nice.
Oh, that's cute. By the way, she's my cousin, but Chemo loves Shayna so much. My son Chemo loves Shayna so much. He's like, no, Dad, Shayna's my cousin, not yours. I'm like, what? She's mine. You don't know how this all works in the generations.
He
He's like,
doesn't get the
He's already
once
late
removed.
claim, yeah.
he's like, no, my cousin. I'm like, okay, I see how it is. Number 4, ever since I turned 21, I've spent every single birthday at Disneyland and don't regret it at all.
Nice.
Number 3, being a 90s baby. Maybe that's the Lizzie McGuire thing. Attending Disneyland's 90s night was one of the best nights of my life. I don't even know what that is. Especially seeing Max in his Powerline outfit.
It's the Goofy movie. Powerline singer. Goofy movies would have been in my honorable mentions. I wanted to go to that night. The gummy bears were there.
Why didn't you go?
Gummy bears
bouncing here and there and everywhere. Okay.
Number 2, experiencing 2 24-hour days at Disneyland in 2014 and 2015. Is that like a special?
Wait, how do you do that?
You have to buy the ticket. You're there all day. You see people in pajamas, pictures of people sleeping on benches.
So you don't have to leave the park?
No, you're there for 24 hours.
Wait, when do they do this? I want to do this.
We should look up. This should be what we do.
Hardly here.
Just see.
We're going to run a 5K in our pajamas, never leave.
Just see how crazy we could get after 24 hours.
I like it. Her number 1.
Oh, gosh.
She went to Disney World and she got engaged
my
in front of the castle. Shout out to Andrew. Going to be my new cousin.
That's adorable.
Very cool.
That's
very
a
cool.
closeout.
That's
to
very
the
cool.
Sidekick Mail.
Real quick though, we were with Shayna and Andrew the week before in Disneyland, and they were hanging out with us. No big deal. Shayna went on a ride with Chemo, and they were on the ride. Everything's great. We're all hanging out with Andrew. Andrew leans over. He's like, "Oh, by the way, we're going to Disney World next week." We're like, "Oh, okay, great. That's cool. Good for you." And he's like, "I'm going to propose." And then Shayna comes off the ride. We're like, "Wait, what? What? You
like,
can't just
hold
drop
up.
it." And then now she's in front of us and can't say anything.
That's pretty cool. The engagements at Disneyland, it's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Disney double stuff extravaganza
That
takeover.
that was insane. That was so much Disney
stuff.
Wow.
I am exhausted.
Yeah.
But we're all super excited about Disneyland.
I know we are.
Right.
Actually,
I'm ready to go
we
back.
have so many
it's been
plans.
so long.
It's been way too long for you, Dilly.
We need a road trip.
We
this.
definitely need to do it as a HH family. We have
sure.
so many things that we're going to be doing. We're running a 5K. We're going to stay there 24 hours.
Yes.
We're going to go on all
riding
of our
Peter Pan.
rides. Yeah. Oh, we're
if Mammy is
Mammy
there,
is taking you on Peter
we'll
Pan.
go to Peter Pan.
She wants to see the joy that comes to your eyes as you experience it for the first time. or
Okay.
maybe the second. I don't know. Have you been on it?
I don't think they had Peter Pan.
They 100% did.
They've always
They
had
did.
Peter
They've
Pan.
always. It's one of the main attractions.
Do not
this
question
goes back.
Bird.
I just, I glossed over.
So
Peter
you've
Pan.
never been on Peter Pan?
We
I
don't
probably
remember.
have.
Can
actually.
you ask,
if it's
like-
always been there, I'm sure I've been on it.
Okay.
But if you don't
Do you
remember
think
it,
you
it's
can-
his first time.
That's
basically.
true. But also, can you ask your mom if you've always disliked Peter Pan?
It wouldn't be Mammy. It'd be more like Dada.
Okay, ask Dad.
All right.
So I just
we've come to the end.
I know that we've been going for a long time, and you guys are probably sick of hearing from us. But I just want to just a few things. I just need to tease about. We are in September 15th. We're going to be in Merced at the California Republic Comic Con. That's put on by Colossus Girl Entertainment that we've worked with a bunch of cons. We're going to be talking about that in the weeks coming up. We're going to be out there doing the panels. We're going to have some cool panels.
That's in September, right?
That's September 15th in Merced, California.
Okay.
So
Not too
hopefully all of you guys can come out. I'm sure me, Buddy, Dill Skill, the Philippe, Navarro, Bird's going to be there. Goat, Logan.
Maybe the Lightnings will come up from Fresno.
Maybe
Might
Pally
shout out
Pal
my
Keith
friends.
might roll
Right?
out.
Yeah, Keith,
We'll find some Parmalees
Mammy.
in Merced. I don't know.
Mama Groot.
It'll be just like it's
we haven't
Disney.
seen Mama
Everybody.
Groot in a while.
Everybody.
So just a few, a few places you can find us. Sorry, we've been talking for a long time. So you can find us on Instagram at Hardly Heroes. You can find us at Facebook at Hardly Heroes. Oh, sorry, because I said Facebook. I just also wanted to talk about real quick. Shout out to Philippe. He started this Facebook forum. What's it called? I always mess up the word.
The Hardly Heroes Sidekick Sanctorum.
Sanctorum. So if you go on, I don't know, I think you go on Facebook, you can search Hardly Heroes. You can join it, and we can approve you on it, or we can invite you. So if you're not friends with any of us on Facebook, just search Hardly Heroes. And it's just a place that we can continue the conversation. We're on there. People are posting new stuff, new things that they're into, funny memes. We're getting into conversations. We're just kind of after the show, we can still talk about all that, all the conversations that we've been having on the show.
Last episode, we talked about hey, what does young Picard look like?
And then Philippe found some pictures of Picard with hair, and he was still real
Smoking.
hot.
That's funny.
So it's a really cool place that we can all meet and still chat.
Yep.
And talk. So please check that out if you can. Philippe put it up, and shout out. Thank you so much, Philippe. So you can also find us at YouTube at Hardly Heroes, Twitter at Hardly Heroes 1. And you can check us out at our website. It's hardlyheroes.com, or you can email us directly at hardlyheroes@gmail.com. Thank you so much for sticking with us tonight.
It's a long ride.
And you guys have just remember one thing.
Disclaimer, they don't know shit.
Bye. Love you.
We blew up that
See you guys.
episode.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, old Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Whenever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the trees to make some honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at them fancy ants, and then maybe we'll try a few. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to me, they'll come to you.